worldwide leader in sports. He's ESPN 620. And now, an on-air sports marketing presentation. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, now on ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD-2, and streaming live at arizonasports.com. The guys are powered by the law offices of Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And now on your ESPN station in Phoenix, ESPN 620, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
With the 30th pick in the 2026 NBA Draft, the Dallas Mavericks select Koa Pete from the University of Arizona.
There's a big man on his way to the Phoenix Suns. The D-backs knocked the birds out of their nest, and the stars are shining bright in the World Cup. Welcome in, everybody. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and you can always find us on the Arizona Sports app.
I like big butts and I can't lie.
Let it go. Let it ride a little bit.
Yeah, I just wanted that fun. Okay.
I like big butts and I can't lie.
That is the theme that I echoed yesterday.
It is.
I wanted a big bass, big ass
That's it.
to be down low for this Phoenix Suns team. And the Suns make a trade with the Dallas Mavericks as they gave away, 35 second-round picks along with Memphis.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, exactly. So basically what you heard, the Dallas Mavericks did draft Koa Pete.
They did.
They made the trade with the Phoenix Suns. And the Suns, I feel, got that girth, got that size, they got that ass to be down low, to create some havoc and clear some boards for the Phoenix Suns.
I like big butts and I can't lie.
That's going to be the theme of the day. Man. Back that bus up.
You know what? It's interesting. It's like we kind of signed off yesterday going, you know what?
Yeah.
Whether it's 47 or if they move into the first round, I just want to see somebody with some girth, with some bass, with some ass that can go ahead and be that guy that can clean up some boards and make some of the things that'll happen. I mean, that'll
I like big
yes.
That's it.
And on top of it, Jimmy B, he can score down low.
He can.
He might be the best paint scorer on the team right now, as of right now, with this Phoenix Suns team.
My only question that I have, look, we talked about his capabilities. He's not good from any distance yet. That'll be a work in progress. But you referenced the fact that he can score down low. In college, he is so big and strong and tough, he played bully ball. But you know as well as I do, Manuch, you get to the NBA, all those dudes are as big or bigger than you. Do you still think
Absolutely.
he will be as effective?
Yeah, I think he'll just learn some new moves, obviously.
Okay.
We'll catch up with Suns radio analyst Tim Kempton here at 1:30 and get his thoughts about what moves he would have to develop, because Tim was a big dude down low. He had a lot of great moves down low and could score. Yeah, you're correct. I mean, he will be, even though he's 235 pounds, and Laz, he's 6'8", 235 pounds. Laz, he's 6'8", 235 pounds. Laz ran a 6'4" yesterday.
Yeah, that's what he had.
I had to make sure that he wasn't smoking anything back there behind the glass for a second.
You know, I know.
So, Mr. U of A behind the glass, I think that because I like his aggressiveness.
Yeah, I
love
that.
his physicality.
Brute force trauma.
Yeah, he can run. Matter of fact, you're sitting there, you're watching all the shows after these draft picks, right? And a couple of the guys were saying in the draft show that he runs the floor for probably the one of the bigger power forwards as far as him running the floor better than a lot of guys.
Okay.
He's agile, can go to the rack. He goes to the rack with energy, with power. And basically when, in his younger days, or there was times at U of A, he could take a game over or get a team back into the game. Now, he had pretty damn good supporting cast.
Yes, I would say so.
But yeah, it's going to take him a while to learn the big boys in the NBA.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like walls, going against, I call it college is flexiglass. Those are the big guys there. You go against the guys in the NBA, there's a stone cold walls
I agree with
that they're going to have to go against. He's going to have to go against.
Yeah. Anyway, Koa Pete, say hello. He will be the new Phoenix Sun. Unbelievable. All right. We had Kyle Dodd on the show yesterday, and Kyle is our kind of go-to basketball guy. Played the game at a high level, of course, at ASU. He's been a long time on the radio calling ASU games, and he is totally dialed into the NBA and the draft. And ironically enough, we asked him about the possibility of Koa Pete, and if he were to get lucky and the Suns found a way to make a move, which they ended up doing, to get Koa Pete, here's how Dodd responded.
You know what? I love, again, Koa. I know people are, kind of picking his game apart right now, and I think unfairly a little bit. I do see what people are saying, but the kid wins. He wins, and that's what I want. I want winners. Sure. I want guys that could do it, and he's won gold medals. He won 4 state titles at Perry. He won a ton of games his freshman year. At Arizona, the kid's going to win. He's just that type of kid. And so I want a guy like that in my franchise. And I could figure out the rest. I know people are worried about him. Hey, he might not be able to do bully ball, in the NBA, whatever. The guy's going to work his butt off and figure out the parts of the game that are his weakness, which is probably being more consistent and stretching the floor with the shot. He's going to get in the gym and do that. That's what he does. And so I think he's going to have no problem being an impact player. And I think just people talking kind of negatively about him right now is probably stirring, it's probably his fuel and his gasoline for all his training right now.
We had, and he nailed it, Kyle nailed it. We had Casey Jacobson on it. He kind of echoed the same thing. We had Casey on yesterday.
Yeah.
Echoed the same thing about Koa Pete. I think you asked him, he goes, I love Koa Pete. I love me some Koa Pete. Now, is this kid going to come in and be an all-star right from the get-go? No. But I think the commonality that I hear, as I watch this young man at 4 years at Perry, I watch him his 1 year at U of A, is what you're hearing is the fire in his belly. The kid works hard. He wants to win. He's got an attitude of, hey, not in my house. We're going to go ahead and take care of this. I love how he gets excited. I like he runs the floor. I really like how he can be physical with the best of them. Now, to your point, Jimmy, yeah, it'll be a little different physicality in the NBA. But I think if he can put, 10, 20 pounds on over the next couple of 2-3 years,
Manuch,
that will help him.
He could carry 250 easy.
Yeah, he really could.
Yeah.
I mean, look at him now.
Yeah.
He's 6'8". I call him a svelte 235. And the energy, the hops, all that he has. So I just hope that they play him a lot. They give him a chance to grow with this team. But I think the Suns, they love him. And all of the pundits out there, even though some said maybe he would have been better served to go back 1 year. And I think a lot of us said, yeah, might have been. But if he's already outgrown that freshman year,
right,
this is the kind of young man you want to come into the NBA and be able to show his wares and just learn. But I just love the fire in his belly and his physicality.
All right. Speaking of physicality, we're watching the baseball game last night at the refreshment stand. And we have that on one screen and
pitcher's duel
and the draft. I could not believe what I was seeing until we got to the 9th inning. What the hell? I mean, you had nothing going on in that game, Manuch, until the 9th inning. And then the D-backs put up 4, and you think, oh, this is going to be a nice win. They really, they're going to shut this down. Uh-oh, what the hell happened?
Well, Sewald came in and was throwing BP.
Ooh.
And all of a sudden you get 4 hits off the bat, literally. And thank God Brandon Garcia came in for the last out. I mean, or he basically came in and just kind of shut the door down. But it was a fun game to watch. Me being that Cardinal fan,
yes,
going, oh my gosh, are they going to get a chance to come back? I mean, it's basically, they're coming back in that 9th inning, and they're down by 4.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden you're going, okay, we got Burleson doubles, you get a run there. Jordan gets a base hit, you get a couple runs, they get 1 run there. Crooks gets a single. There's another run there. But Garcia comes in and shuts the door on that last out. But it was fun to see. But it was fun to also see. It's kind of one of those double-edged swords. Nolan Arenado, finally get a big hit to drive in a run.
Yeah.
And then Lourdes Gurriel come up there and drive in a couple of runs.
You buried Arenado yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Well,
he was in the grave.
Oh, he was
throwing dirt on him.
Well, he was with runners in scoring position.
Yeah.
Runners in scoring position. You got to clarify the entire statement there. I didn't bury him. I buried him on his runners in scoring position. And that was one thing that, you look at that and you go, well, okay. So he was 1 for 1. The Diamondbacks are still 2 for 13 with runners in scoring position.
That's another.
So it was nice to see him get it's interesting. He gets a standing O. Then he gets a base hit down the left field line and scores a run. And they're like, okay. That's just the St. Louis Cardinal fandom. They're just good fan base. Little golf clap for a guy that was there.
Okay, I'm good.
You're not going to boo you or throw batteries at you if you're in Philadelphia. But, hey, nice win and nice for Garcia to kind of come in there and put the fire out, literally.
All right, here's my question then. Laz, jump in on this too. Who is pitching tonight for the Arizona Diamondbacks?
That would be one Zach Gallen.
No.
That would
the
be a
rookie.
recent call-up, Mitch Bratt, who the Diamondbacks acquired as one of a few players in the Merrill Kelly trade last year at the deadline.
Who is that again?
Mitch Bratt.
How is it? Where was numbers down in Reno? Have you seen how he looked?
Let me go check.
Yeah, check his numbers down in Reno. But this is where this team is at. And then on Friday, I looked at the schedule. It's still TBD.
Yeah.
To be
Gallen
determined.
is Thursday.
The Gallen's Thursday, and there might be some touchdowns scored in that game.
So Mitch Bratt in Reno with the Aces had a 2.84 ERA, an 0.95 WHIP, and he had a 42-12 strikeout to walk ratio over about 50 innings. So he was pretty solid down there.
Pretty solid, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that. Get over the jitters, survive the first inning, get settled down. Hey, Erod last night, 6 2/3, only 3 hits. The guy was dialed in.
He was.
The 5 strikeouts, so he had the 3 walks, but he was dialed in, and you really watch him and you go, wow, thank God for Erod until Sirocco can get back. And then the rest of them, when Ryan Nelson eventually comes back, it's Anderson. It's Rodriguez and the rest of them right now.
The rest.
Yeah.
That's pretty much
so,
it.
Erod, you're going to have to toe the rope, big fella.
And for the Cardinals, we got Peoria native and Mountain Ridge High School native Matthew Liberator pitching for the Cardinals, who I watched throw a no-hitter against my high school when I was back in high school, probably 2017 or 18, threw a no-hitter at our school.
Wow.
He's a beast.
Wow. Threw a no-hitter in high school.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Mountain Ridge High School, they won state, I think, 2 or 3 years. Him and Nolan Gorman, who's also a Cardinal, they were on the same
Hell, I
team.
used to throw no-hitters in high school for crying out loud.
I threw one in Little League. Does that count?
You know what? Yes, it does.
Yeah, it does. Hey, our first segment presented by Lerner and Rowe. That's right. All you do is make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. You can always get more information at lernerandrowe.com. Lerner and Rowe. One call. That's all. 602-977-1900. We are just getting started. Coming up next, Replay Rewind. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Lerner and Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Rock for WhiteToyota.com. At White Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all their innovative web tools on WhiteToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WhiteToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WhiteToyota.com.
Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people with upfront pricing before the work starts. So there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First, drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with the shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips. Because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
When I grow up, I want to be a teacher. Because when I'm a teacher, I can help kids to learn and chase their dreams.
PI, a defect of the immune system, affects millions of children. Early and accurate diagnosis and treatment give children like Sam a chance to achieve their dreams.
It takes a lot of caring teachers to make school fun. It took a lot of caring people to keep my dream alive. And now, because of them, I can be head of the class.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
Now it's time for our replay rewind. The top sounds of the night and whatever Roc decides to add. Let's get to it in replay rewind with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620 and on FM at 98.7 HD2.
Swanson is 3-2. Swung on, barrel down the left field line. That's fair, and it's going to ricochet off the wall. Moreno will score. Vargas has to stop at third. It's Arenado in Busch Stadium once again, and his RBI double gives the D-backs a 1-0 lead in the ninth.
Thank you to Arizona Sports for the highlight. That was the first run of the game. Top of the ninth inning.
Hey, Nolan, I love you, but don't do that against your old team, man.
After they gave him a standing O.
I tell you what, it was crickets. It literally was crickets for 9 innings.
Yeah.
And then he squared one up, and you went, uh-oh. And you just kind of looked at that from there. And you know that coming into this game, I was just wondering, after the 3-2 victory by the Cardinals, I said, pitching held up pretty good. Mm-hmm. That being the Cardinals. I spoke too soon. This was a team that had lost 6 out of 10, had given up 58 runs in the 10 games, getting outscored 58-55. And last night, the dam pretty much broke for this Cardinals team last night, and the Diamondbacks took advantage of it.
There you go. As I mentioned, all of the runs for both teams were scored in the ninth inning. So now the Cardinals with a 1-0 advantage, and Lourdes Gurriel at bat.
The 3-2. Swinging a ground ball up the middle and through. That's a base hit. Vargas will score. Arenado's going to be waved around third. Here's the throw by Nootbaar. It's not even close. Arenado scored standing. Gurriel to second. It's a 3-0 Diamondback lead. So there you go. They go on to take a 4-0 lead. And then all of a sudden, Manuch, Paul Sewald, forgot to bring his pitching arm.
It's interesting. You hear the in the background. You actually heard boos from the Cardinal crowd. Yeah, Sewald, he really struggled there for the 2/3 of the inning. And you just went, wow, this guy's he's money. He's got 17, 18 saves on the year, and he just couldn't find it. Or they had a pretty good – a lot of times I think we got to give the forward scouting a little more credit than we do. When Sewald comes in, they go over all the pitchers, all the relievers with the hitters, and remind them when somebody's coming in, hey, you'll look for this, this, and this. When he gets to this count, you'll probably see this, or whatever the situation is. So I think a lot of times we got to give the forward scouting a little credit, but he was grooving pitches.
Ooh.
Hit it if you can, and they did. They hit it hard, and they got back in the game.
After the game, Arenado talking about how he needed this and how the team needed the win.
Yeah, it felt good to come through. It feels like it's just really hard right now. I don't know why, but it was nice to come through against a good arm. He had really good stuff, and luckily I was able to work a good at bat, but it wasn't just me. It was everybody in front of me also having great at bats. Babe, nobody really feels really great, but everyone's still battling out there, and you got to love that.
Well, and your starting pitcher kept you in the game. Arenado in that same little presser after the contest, talking about the performance, as my esteemed colleague Dan Manucci refers to him as Erod.
Eduardo has just been so good for us. He's always given us a chance to win ball games. His record should be a lot better. We feel like we should pick him up a lot more than we have, but as long as he continues to do his thing, we're going to win some ball games. But he's just been phenomenal for us, and I love playing behind him.
He's keeping the ball down. I remember last year when he was getting lit up, the ball was up, his sliders were up, fastballs were up. He's just keeping it down. Now, again, he's thrown a lot of pitches, 6 2/3, 95 pitches. But, the bullpen's come in behind him and done a good job, except for Sewald in that case last night. But I just think that if he can just kind of hold serve and continue to pitch as well as he's pitching in the National League, that'll really bode well for this team until they can get any kind of traction. I will say this, maybe Arenado starts to come out a little bit. He squared that ball up. He crushed that ball down that left field line.
It was driven.
So maybe that's something he feels pretty good about. He can get that confidence. Just hit the ball hard. I think for Nolan Arenado, those days of 30, 35 home runs, I think are some of the situations that a lot of fans of him probably are not going to see. And I think that those are things that are probably going to be very interesting as they move down the road. They got 2 more against this Cardinals team. So save that until you get to Tampa, Nolan Arenado.
All right. So last night, NBA draft, all of the conversation here in the Valley, of course, is Koa Pete, as he played at Perry, played at U of A for a season, and now he is going to play for the Phoenix Suns. Former star player Avery Johnson won an NBA title as a coach as well with the San Antonio Spurs. Here is his thoughts on Koa Pete.
I played against Larry Johnson, who played at UNLV and played against us in '99 with the New York Knicks. He has a similar body, 6'8", 245 pounds. He'll fit right in. He puts a lot of pressure on the defense. He drives bigger guys off the dribble. He does a nice job of posting up smaller defenders. We'll see if he can improve his shot. But this is a nice opportunity for him to stay in the state of Arizona. You have a ton of fans playing with the Suns. They obviously know who he is. He doesn't have to go very far. So I'm excited. I like this pick for the Phoenix Suns. However he got to Phoenix.
Here's the thing. That's quite the comp for Larry Grandmama Johnson.
I agree.
That's a huge comp.
That is.
Larry Johnson was all that and then some. He was.
The first 4 or 5 years, and then he had the back surgery.
Yes.
And he was never the same. But the first 4 or 5 years, Manuch, man, he was sensational.
And he was so fun to watch in college, too, at UNLV.
Yes.
That's a hell of a comp. That's a comp to live up to. I don't even know if Koa Pete knows who Larry Johnson is, but he should go back and look at that. But Avery Johnson, as you mentioned, won a title as a player, won a title as a coach. He understands, and I think he nailed it. And a lot of the pundits that know his game really do understand that, hey, look, he's got a pretty good game except for the shot, and he will improve. And I think one of the things he improves on, if he can bring that together over the next 2 or 3 years, whether he lives up to a Larry Johnson-esque type of career or not, we'll have to see. But the intangibles and the physicality are there, and that's the common thing you hear from everybody.
Let me follow up with what he said as well, that he can post up players on the block. We have not seen a lot of that with the Phoenix Suns. That has just not happened because they really don't have a strong post-up player. So it'll be interesting for me to see if indeed the amount of minutes that Koa Pete gets, and also, is he going to be on that block, and is he going to be able to post up and have success?
Key word there is strong.
There you go.
Yeah, that's strong, that can move some bodies. That's why the extra 10 pounds to 20 pounds will bode him very well to put that on so he can go compete with those big bodies down low, with the Hardensteins of the world and some of the other. And if Catman were ever to go down low at all, you would see that big boy.
Post from
He does. But
I like big.
There you go. Lean that big old butt on whomever. But the quickness and the explosiveness are the other things that Avery Johnson talks about, Koa Pete.
World Cup continuing. USA plays tomorrow. They have already advanced into the round of 16. The stars for individual teams have just been sensational. I'll just reference one goal from yesterday. This is Portugal.
Bruno Fernandes. Neto sprinting down the right. Ronaldo through the middle. It's Cristiano Ronaldo for Portugal. It's 3-0. And Ronaldo strikes again.
That's his second goal of the game. So we've seen Ronaldo, Messi,
Mbappe
and Haaland also scoring as well for Norway. I mean, all of the big name players have shown up.
And the thing is, I guarantee you, if one does it, the other gets motivated to do it as well, too.
Yes.
And we are getting a rare opportunity this after 4-year period to see all these guys on the pitch at the same time. I mean, who knows if Messi's going to be around in 4 years or Ronaldo. Mbappe will. But some of those guys go, wow, these guys are at the peak of their careers, playing outstanding soccer. And I think that this is one of those eras, guys, that we're going, wow, we're seeing 4 or 5 really top-notch players that we may not see 4 years from now. So enjoy this era, enjoy this World Cup, because this group of outstanding players, specifically the 3 you mentioned, we may never see together at the same time.
I'm with you on that. Hey, our Replay Rewind presented today by Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck, need a check? Just make one call, 602-977-1900. Always at lernerandrowe.com. They can help you. Once again, one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. All right, more on the Suns and Koa Pete getting to join the Phoenix Suns. He was the last pick in the first round, and the Suns made a deal with second-round picks to bring him back home to the Valley of the Sun. Suns radio analyst Tim Kempton, who, by the way, used to use his big backside as well when he was on the court playing for the Phoenix Suns. He's coming up next. Right now, let's get you to a ESPN Radio 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The D-backs picked up a much-needed win last night, rallying late in the ninth to beat the St. Louis Cardinals 4-3 and even up that series at 1 apiece. The rubber match gets underway at 4:45 this afternoon, with recent call-up Mitch Bratt expected to get the start for the Snakes as they look to secure a series win. And on the hardwood, the Phoenix Suns traded up into the first round of the NBA draft last night, selecting hometown product and Arizona Wildcat Koa Pete with the 30th overall pick. The Arizona native now gets his chance to stay home as his NBA career begins in a Phoenix Suns uniform. Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon, top shelf spirits over ice balls, local craft beers, and those famous 29-degree drafts. Pair it all with scratch-made bites that actually satisfy.
Right in the heart of Arizona Athletic Grounds, one of the largest youth sports complexes in North America, Bristol's is the ultimate hangout for families and sports fans in Mesa. Come experience amazing double-decker cheeseburgers, award-winning wings, smoked barbecue, and fresh, craveable salads. With seating for 500, a full bar, 20 beers on tap, and over 100 TVs, happy hour Thursdays, Friday and Sunday from 4 till 6, plus trivia night every Thursday night. Bristol's, where Mesa comes to eat, watch, and win.
Head to Westworld in Scottsdale as we celebrate America's 250th birthday. The largest fireworks display in Scottsdale history and an unforgettable day of family fun, patriotism, and community pride. Enjoy the action-packed 406 rodeo with bull riding, bronc riding, wild pony races, button busting for the kids, and more. Explore the history of Scottsdale Walking Tour. Cheer on competitors at the 4th Annual Cold Beers and Cheeseburgers Summer Slider Eating Contest Championship and the 3rd Annual Water Balloon Championship. See the all-new South Hall Kids Zone, featuring kid-friendly vendors, face painters, activities, and bounce houses. And enjoy everyone's favorite backyard barbecue by M Culinary. Plus, celebrate local heroes during the 7th Annual Parade of Heroes. This year, you can reserve front row fireworks seating and secure your spot before Scottsdale's largest fireworks display in history lights up the Arizona sky. Celebrate 250 years of America. Get your tickets today at scottsdaleboard.com. Produced by R Entertainment.
Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the Grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com.
Our legacy began in 1963. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf has been your trusted golf shop for generations. From the early days to the present, we've been serving local golfers with excellent service and expertise. Our goal is to empower your journey with the best gear and advice in golf, all backed by our legendary 90-day guarantee. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf is here to help you get there.
I was in a wreck. I need a check. I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Attorney Kevin Rowe. Being in an auto accident is traumatic. You need to call the best law firm that has the experience to get you the best results. Call 977-1900. That's 977-1900.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620.
Execution on that possession for Florida. Xavier Lee, it's his second three of the night. Here goes Bradley. Bradley gives it to Pete.
Thank you to TNT Sports for the highlight. Pete was the selection in the NBA draft by the Phoenix Suns. That means Tim Kempton is our guest. You know him, long time Suns radio analyst, former player, and he's got a big butt, and he pushed people around. That was the theme of our show yesterday, was big-ass guys, and he joins us right now. You can follow him on X at SunsTK. Again, that's SunsTK. Okay, so first off, Pete's about 6'8", 235-ish, can probably balloon up easily to 250. In your estimation, big man, is this exactly what the doctor ordered for the Suns?
Well, he's a nice piece. I mean, don't, you know, he's the 30th pick, so let's not put too much pressure on the kid from the get-go. And I don't like him at 250. I like his athleticism. I like the way he moves right now. Sometimes, weight is overrated for, mobility, agility, speed, and being able to move around the court, especially the way, the game is played today. But I like him. He's a tough kid, obviously local. He's won wherever he's been. He can guard multiple positions. He's really good in the mid-range game. He handles the ball well for his size. So for the Suns to get up to the 30th pick and get him through New York and Dallas and whatever other team they went through to get him, congratulations. I do think he's a nice piece.
I think the one thing when we watched him, I watched him through Perry High School and at U of A. The thing I like with you talk about his size, but his speed, his physicality, his energy, his hops, all the above. At that size, they were talking about, I think Tim, you might have mentioned just a few weeks ago, we're talking about the locals who'll be in the draft. To have that kind of burst for a big kid like that is also very prominent.
Yeah, without a doubt. And you look at today's day and age, they talk about positionless NBA. So to be versatile, to be able to play a number of positions on both ends of the floor, obviously I think that's one of the best things going for him. And the way he competes, he's won wherever he's had to go in high school. At Perry, at U of A, had a really good 1 year there. So, yeah, obviously the kid's got to grow. He's got to develop more. But that's what the development G League is for. That's what all those development coaches that you have on staff are for, and you put them in the gym. And, you know, there's plenty of people you can get in the gym with this summer, and those young guys with, you know, obviously Ryan Dunn and Oso and Kaman Malawat and Rashir. I mean, that's a nice little group to be working out with this summer, trying to get better.
Tim, how would you define today's power forward or four in today's NBA?
Oh, well, it's so different here. Obviously, the perfect guy is probably about 6'10", 240. You know, can shoot it from three, but and is a strong rebounder. I think that's your ideal four position right there. You know, a guy with size but versatility. You know, big enough to play against some of the longer guys in the league, able to stretch the floor and be athletic. So he's probably just a little bit smaller than you like. Obviously, he doesn't shoot it great from the three-point line yet, but he's got a lot of other things that he does really well. You know, Manuch, you and I have talked about it all the time. It's pretty easy in my book. Identify strengths and weaknesses and put a guy in position to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what Coa Pete does. Now put shooters around him on the floor. You know that give him room to work in that mid-range area. And then on the defensive end, he's able to switch. So you know everybody wants to switch. Coa Pete can switch and play 3 or 4 different people.
Tim Kempton's our guest on the Right Toyota guest line. Timmy, take me then to Manuch and I had a conversation about how he could play bully ball in college, but when you get to the NBA, everybody is as big as you, if not bigger. Will he have to change his low block game much, or will he still be able to bully guys around?
Yeah, I think he'll still be able to use that game because what's the word and the verbiage that they used in the playoffs? Create space.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got a nice little shot. And you go to his highlights and you look at him knock down everything inside the free throw line. So if he can create space and get that shot off, then he'll be fine. So I think his physicality will help him well. Yeah, there may be. You know, but it's not, now here again. Now you have set where he goes from the top of the key, or he goes from the wing where he does. You know, if he's got a bigger player on him, and he doesn't have to overpower him. But now because he does handle the ball, now you take him a step out, give him a little bit more space. So that goes back to identifying strengths and weaknesses and using them up in the right matchup. You know, one of the things he did really well in college was the high pick and roll. So now you set the high pick and roll. Now you got a smaller guy in him. Now he uses that bully ball that you talked about because he's got the smaller ball, the smaller guy on him. So it's all about the sets. It's all about how you use them to get him, again, to use his strengths against people in situations.
What player on that bench will he be competing for minutes with, Tim? Who's going to be the competition to get those minutes to play?
Well, I think it's all those guys that we just talked about. You know, you look at you know, Oso's a little bit longer. Obviously, Ryan Dunn's probably a little bit more athletic, a little bit faster, but they're all right in there. How can they distinguish themselves? You know, obviously, you're going to see Kaman and Rashir and Coa Pete at Summer League. So, you know, you see how they compete. You see who the guys match up well and play well in Summer League and practices. So, you know, it's all those guys right in there that we just talked about, the guys that'll be working together to get better, competing, and see who comes out on top and who the coaching staff trusts most.
All right. This is a burning question that Manuch and I discussed. Burning question, pal. Manuch and I
serious stuff here,
serious
Tim.
Stuff, yeah. So
stop the presses.
We know that it's been all about big butts today. So we know that if you've got one, you can move people around down low on the block. So the burning question is, who had the bigger butt, Barkley or Oliver Miller?
Definitely Charles. Charles knew how to use it. Oliver may have had a bigger butt, but Charles knew how to use it better. So I'll go with Charles on that one for sure.
I called. You got to have that base. You got to have that ass, Tim. If you're going to be down low.
And Charles was low. He knew how to use that stuff. He was on balance. Oliver played a little bit more straight up and down. So I'll go with Chuck all day long.
So what advice does Tim Kempton give Koa Pete before he starts practicing and what have you? Just says, hey, Koa, sit down. I got 4 or 5 things to give to you. Hopefully you take them and learn from. What would be some of the key points you give him for advice?
Well, first and foremost, come in with a great attitude and be willing to work. You have more things available to you now than you have ever had in your life. Find a coach, that wants to work with you every day. Get in there early and work on those weaknesses in your individual time. During your team situations, go to your strengths. Work on your weaknesses individually, and incorporate them slowly. But early on, do what you do well and really emphasize that. Obviously, rebounding is something that the Suns can use a lot of. So go after that ball in all your workouts, all your scrimmages, all your practices, and then your game time in those summer leagues. That's one thing that can really stand out, not only as a helpful situation, but as a stat that will show up big. And then, just go out there and be yourself. Work hard, improve individually, and do what you're good at. Just go out there and be who you are. Don't try to be someone that you're not.
Hey, before I let you go, just want to talk to you real quick. It seems as though Colin Gillespie and Jordan Goodwin might have given the Suns a hometown discount. A lot of reports out there saying Gillespie was offered $3 to $4 million more, as was Goodwin. Key phrase here, that's got to speak volumes to the organization, the kind of culture they have here.
It sure does. Guys want to, and again, that's people. How many times have we seen guys sign for money and then they disappear?
Sure.
Happens all the time. They already know what their role is here with Phoenix. They have a coaching staff that they work with. They know the players that are here. So that they may have gave up the money thinking that this is the best situation for me. Obviously some guys want to be better players instead of just grabbing money, because we've seen that happen where guys have gone for the money, their role changes, their game changes, and you stop hearing about them.
Jimmy, it's always great, pal, when you're on the show with us. Thank you for everything.
So you're on the record. Charles Barkley had the bigger ass between he and God rest his soul of Oliver Miller. God, okay, so we're on the record. We're taking a poll here.
There you go.
Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, Jimmy.
You guys.
All right.
See you. Tim Kempton, everybody. I can't believe we were having debate on who had the bigger backside.
You got to have that base, Jimmy B.
I understand.
But you know what's interesting? Because you look at all the big men over the years that have got that base. And yes, and you can move that button, move it, get that base. I think those are some things that gave Charles Barkley the Hall of Fame career.
Man, you're not kidding.
He had.
Yeah, he was terrific at using it. Hey, Timmy's presented today by All City Towing, and you can join All City Towing. They are the state's largest towing company, and they're looking for people like you. They're hiring drivers, dispatchers, and customer service people. Here's the best part. They pay very well, have excellent benefits, including a monthly fuel allowance. You can apply today. Just go online, allcitytowing.com, and search careers. Again, that's allcitytowing.com and search careers. It's All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward. When we come back a little on this day, some football at 50 as well. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
Happy hour is happening at Twin Peaks, Monday through Friday, 2 till 6 p.m. With reverse happy hour, Sunday through Thursday, 10 till close. Plus, grab 22-ounce Michelob Ultra drafts every Thursday and Saturday, 22-ounce Bud Light drafts every Sunday, and new on Thursdays, $5 Busch Light 16-ounce aluminums. 5 Valley Twin Peak locations, cold beer, scratch-made food, and wall-to-wall sports. Twin Peaks, tell them Roc and Manuch sent ya. When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Shipped to the store or right to your door. Visit staycool-products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat.
Hey, Arizona State football fans, London is calling. The Sun Devils are headed across the pond to face Kansas in the inaugural Union Jack Classic, September 19th at Wembley Stadium. It's the first college football game ever played there, and you should be part of it. For tickets, hospitality, and travel packages, visit UnionJackClassic.com or contact the Sun Devil ticket office. Join Coach Dillingham, Sparky, and the Sun Devils in London. Forks up.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selection. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs, right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B want to take you back. A quick reflection on some of the more memorable moments in sports and pop culture. Now, time for your Wright Toyota On This Day report. Wright Toyota, right on the corner, right on the price. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. Don't forget, we go all the way until 4 o'clock today. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and on the Arizona Sports app. All right, let's get you to On This Day.
You know, we can't make this stuff up, folks. The theme is big butts.
Yeah.
Big bass. A little bit of ass. It helps. Well, on this date, 1992, speaking of big butts, the Orlando Magic select Shaquille O'Neal, the number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft. The superstar from LSU went on to become a 4-time NBA champion, 15-time All-Star MVP, Hall of Famer, and one of the most dominant players in league history, and one of the biggest asses to ever grace the NBA. How appropriate here on June 24th. Jimmy probably remembers this, the longest match ever played, going back to 2010 on this date. John Isner finally defeated Nicholas Mahut at Wimbledon, the longest tennis match in history. The match lasted 11 hours and 5 minutes over 3 days.
That's right.
With Isner winning the 5th set 70-68.
Yeah.
The scoreboard actually ran out of room to display the score. A little side note here, the match was so long it stopped twice because of darkness.
Right.
Lasted 3 days and featured 183 total games. Nobody since then has ever come close. And last but not least, on this day in 1979, a guy named Ricky Henderson,
remember him,
made his MLB debut and stole the first base what would become a record-setting career. So there you go. Shaquille O'Neal leading off the base ass butt day back in way back in 1994. 1992, excuse me.
1992, yeah. But, oh, man.
How appropriate. We can't make this stuff up.
No, it just dropped right in front of us. Like, he just sat on it. So, sorry, I can't believe I dropped that one out.
Hang with us, lads.
Yeah.
It gets better.
Yeah,
We've had quite a theme for this first hour of the show.
Yes, we have.
I'm not sure if the audience likes it or not, but
Well,
we're
not
in for
done.
it.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. Try the veal.
Yeah,
The nightclub show will continue.
Jimmy opening act at the Hilton Inn at 9:30. You're right.
Oh, no, 9:30 is too late for me.
Oh, yeah.
7:30. You can do the late show. Football at 50 is presented by Wright Toyota. Make the right choice. It's Wright Toyota. Trusted service, great selection, and a dealership that puts customers first. Check them out online, WrightToyota.com. That is WrightToyota.com.
Well, some tight ends are getting paid.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did you just say
Yes,
tight
it's
end?
part of the theme. Yeah, it's part of the theme. Guys, we can't make this up. It just falls in our lap, and we just drive that point home from that standpoint at all. Kyle Pitts, he's getting paid.
Yeah.
He just signed a 3-year, $54 million extension that includes $36 million guaranteed over the next 2 seasons. He's coming off one of his better seasons. He'll average $18 million per season on his new deal, which puts him at 3rd in the league amongst tight ends. He now trails George Kittle 19.1 per year. And the Arizona Cardinals, Trey McBride, who's at $19 million per year. And not so fast. How about this? Brenton Strang, the Jaguars tight end, has agreed to a 3-year extension worth up to $48 million with $25 million guaranteed. Strang, who is 25, is in the final year of his rookie contract. So basically, he had a very good year last year.
Yeah.
He was the 61st pick overall in 2023, one of the top tight ends in the league in that division. He had 46 catches, 540 yards, and 3 touchdowns in just 12 games. He missed the balance of the season because of a hip injury. So it's just very interesting, or it was just very, hang with me here, Jimmy, strange that he followed up and signed the next day after the Pitts signing. So there's a couple tight end side that happened yesterday. How about the Tennessee Titans?
Okay, how about him?
Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah.
The 3-year contract extension with this defensive lineman. Talk about dinero. The deal's worth $105 million with $100 million guaranteed. Posted a career-high 11 sacks last season. Along with his 11 sacks, Simmons led the all-NFL interior defensive lineman in solo tackles, 39, tackles for loss, 17, sacks, 11, sack yards, 79, quarterback pressures, 60. Don't want that guy hounding me in the pocket. His pressure rate was 14.5, and forced fumbles, he's tied for 3rd. He was named first-team All-Pro and selected to the Pro Bowl for the 4th time in his 7-year career. So there's a few guys right there that are getting paid. Going to go to Buffalo, our old stopping grounds here, Jimmy B.
Yeah, man.
They opened up the brand new stadium, the $2.1 billion stadium. And, folks, there's no roof to it. But they do have what they used to do at the old Dallas Cowboys Stadium. The top of the roof will come about both sides to about just over the top of the fans.
Yes, the fans will be covered.
They'll be covered, but there'll be that opening in there for the snow, the sleet, the wind. But thank God the opening panels won't be open in the end zones like they have at SoFi Stadium.
They have that hole there so God can watch the Bills
Exactly
play.
right. Exactly right. They kind of took a phrase from the Dallas Cowboys.
Correct.
Jim Kelly, we're happy to report, is doing well. Did not know this until yesterday at the opening ceremony, as I had mentioned. He had suffered a stroke back in March. He said he's doing much better. He said he's got a little numbness in his left hand. His speech is coming around. But he was there at the opening ceremonies with a lot of former Buffalo Bill players that were there. So Godspeed to Jim Kelly and all the Buffalo Bill fandom that finally have their new stadium. Well, I remember when the old War Memorial, the Rock Pile.
Yeah.
And then the Bill Stadium, Rich Stadium, became Ralph Wilson Stadium. and I forget what the last name was, the last sponsorship was.
Highmark.
Highmark.
Yeah.
So they finally got it.
And Highmark transferred over to the new stadium.
So the National Football League wanted to emphasize a few things with the Brendan Sorsby not allowing him to be part of the supplemental draft. They shot down the application. There's a multitude of reasons. But the one thing the National Football League has emphasized, did I say emphasized? Emphasized. According to the National Football League, he has no recourse to appeal or sue, since in the last CBA agreement with the National Football League Players Association and the league, the NFL has full authority. Did you hear me say that?
I heard that. Full authority.
On the supplemental draft. And on part of that, he is not a member of the bargaining unit. So you can't sue an organization you're not a member of.
There you go.
There's no way you can go down this road. So the one thing that they also said yesterday is they would highly recommend he get himself ready for the 2027 draft, that he possibly, key phrase there, possibly may be eligible for that as well too. This story, Brendan Sorsby's issues are not going away anytime soon, guys, because I will say this whole gambling thing and the way he handled it, and then he's just now getting therapy, but the years and years that he spent and did it, they are looking at him with a squinted eye. I think he'll probably be good for 2027, but it'll just be a matter of who drafts him and where they draft him. Because I can't think of another situation where gambling was involved with an individual coming out, whether it be coming out in the draft. I've seen the drug situation.
I've seen that.
Yeah, we've seen drugs, and we've seen the rumors that were out there. I mean, the rumors of Dan Marino being a pothead were false, and he dropped, fortunately, right into the lap
of the Miami
Dolphins. I mean, there's that kind of stuff. But this one's a little more – this one's going to be very tough because of the gambling issues and how the Shield wants to protect any of that from leaking or oozing into the National Football League.
But, Manuch, don't you have to understand that the NFL now has embraced the gambling?
As long as it's not their players.
There you
They
go.
get it.
Yes.
There's a caveat.
But they have embraced gambling, and they have embraced the money.
And that's the contradiction.
That's it.
But they will monitor anybody that's an active NFL player to the nth degree. And I agree with you, Jim. It's somewhat of a contradiction.
Yes.
Call what you want, but just their players, they don't want that to leak into the playing mode of the association.
Hey, coming up in our next hour, Campus Quickies. Boy, oh boy, 7 Big 12 players were drafted. 7 of them. Campus Quickies is on the way. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
This summer, the honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich and pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Let me tell you about the pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite. It's bright, it's bubbly, it's back.
The honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich, it's so rich, and you can choose between the original or the spicy filet.
Ooh, boy.
And then you got those pickled jalapenos tucked right under the filet, and then just to top it all off, you got a little honey drizzle right on top.
Okay, now I'm a pimento fan.
And I'm feeling the dragon fruit.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And right now, new mattresses start at $1,500. during our 4th of July sale. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Unleash your swing at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf with all the new Titleist GTS drivers and fairways. Find the perfect GTS driver to gain superior distance, accuracy, and ball speed. Book your fitting for the new Titleist GTS driver in-store or online at worldwidegolf.com. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620.
Swanson is 3-2. Swung on, barrel down the left field line. That's fair, and it's going to ricochet off the wall. Moreno will score. Vargas has to stop at third. It's Arenado in Busch Stadium once again, and his RBI double gives the D-backs a 1-0 lead in the ninth.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. Thank you to Arizona Sports for the highlight. The win last night, 4-3. All the runs scored in the ninth inning. That's it. Yeah, that was Arenado with the double, and that produced the first run of the game. It was the Diamondbacks scoring 4 in the ninth, and then in the bottom of the ninth, the Cardinals came back and put 3 on the board. Cardinals hang on to lose that game, by the way, at 4-3 to the Diamondbacks. Manuch, this is, it's always good when you get a win. And we had this discussion about how important this series is. And people will say, well, it's the middle of June. Why is it that important? Well, it's obvious to at least Manuch and I. And that is you are competing against the St. Louis Cardinals for a wild card spot. And Manuch will elaborate on how important it is to win those series.
Yeah, we've seen this before that, the games matter in June, July, and August because, you get down to the last week or 2 weeks, they're going to look at head-to-head competition with who you played. So let's just say the Cardinals, who are currently, they're in first place in the wild card. So if you got the Phillies, you got the Cubs, on and on and on. So if you're in the ninth position, where the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks are right now, then you kind of go, well, even though they're 1 game back, a lot of folks are like, well, they're only 1 game back. Well, those other guys in front of them, they've got to play them. So if it comes down to even Steven, or you're 1 game or you're even, where it was a couple years ago when they went to the World Series that year, okay, who won the head-to-head?
Yeah, that was the key.
If the Cardinals and them are battling for that number 3 spot, who won the head-to-head? If it's the Phillies, they and the Phillies are battling for head-to-head, that 3rd spot, who won the head-to-head? So these games matter. And I think that what Troy Lavello, the skipper of this Diamondback ball club, has said is, look, these games matter. We got to take advantage with runners in scoring position or winning the close games or somebody coming out of the bullpen and shutting down the opponent's bats or playing good, solid defense or not making gaffes on the bases or just making sure we play good, solid baseball and get the bats going when they have to. So that's why these games matter when you're playing your National League teams, when you've got 7 or 8 teams in front of you that are vying for that 3rd spot in the wild card. So you can't just wait till, we get to August. Well, you get to August, if you're 3 or 4 or 5 games back of the wild card, good luck and good bowling. You'll never catch those other 4 or 5 teams in front of you. So I think that's that's why this was a nice win for this Diamondback team. And then for Nolan Arenado, hallelujah. He had a base hit with a runner in scoring position. Woo-hoo! He had been 0 for the last month and a half. He'd had the worst runners in scoring position average. And this team, as of until yesterday's game, was 18 for 87 with runners in scoring position. Now, yesterday they weren't much better. They were just 2 for 13. But Arenado was 1 for 1. And then again, Marte was 0 for 1. Gurriel stepped up. He was 1 for 2. But after that, there's nobody else that stepped up. So you get those 2 base hits, which are needed when you're chasing a team like the Cardinals, who are in second place in the National League Central to the Brewers. Those are things that matter when you look at these games. So, you need those bats or those guys that are those seasoned veterans, like a Nolan Arenado, to come through, even though it was in the last inning, to come through and produce for you when it matters. And last night it mattered.
It did matter. Laz, you told us who the starting pitcher was going to be tonight for the Arizona Cardinals. Let everybody know who this guy is.
Yeah, the starter for the D-backs. I know what you meant,
yeah,
though. I know.
you,
Cardinals are equally as bad, so I get it.
Jim, you okay over there?
Yeah.
Okay. Get you some more coffee.
Well, they're playing the Cardinals.
Yeah.
And
I knew where you were going.
We're at the point now, we know where Jimmy's going. We kind of, we get it. Yeah, they're in the same ballpark. Yeah.
Pitching
Cardinals.
for the D-backs tonight is going to be Mitch Bratt. That's who the D-backs actually got as one of a few players in the trade last year at the deadline when they sent Merrill Kelly to the Texas Rangers. And he's posted pretty good numbers in AAA for the Reno Aces. A 2.84 ERA with a sub-1 whip and a 42-12 strikeout to walk ratio. And he actually strikes out, about 9 guys per 9 innings.
Oh, I like that.
So he's been pretty good, the left-handed Canadian.
Yeah, I've never
He's
heard of
a
the
Canuck?
Yeah, I never heard of the town. He's from Ontario.
Huh?
So Wannabe or Waterby or somewhere there in Ontario.
Okay.
And then Liberatori, the Phoenix native, as Laz was reminding us.
Yes.
He's struggling a little bit, though. He's at 5.25 ERA. Big, tall lefty, though. He can bring the heat. But if he can kind of settle down, this is one of those games. You got a rookie taking the bump for the Diamondbacks.
Mm-hmm.
You got a guy that's struggling, 5.25 ERA for the Cardinals. I don't know, Jimmy. The first 1 to 8 wins this game. It might be an 8 to 7.
Liberator started the year really, really well. So if you're not careful, he'll go 7 or 8 scoreless.
Sure.
So he's had a great start. He might have slowed down a little bit. But for a while, it looked like he was going to be an all-star, which I don't think it's the case anymore.
No.
But he's a solid starting pitcher for the Cardinals.
he has struggled.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. It's interesting, the ups and downs of a starting pitcher throughout the year.
Okay.
If you can catch him when they're down, his last few outings he's really struggled, then that's key. But to your point, Laz, if all of a sudden he finds it and gets that groove again or finds that slot, he's very difficult to hit. Here's a lefty coming at you, bringing it about 95 to 98. He's got a slider at 90. Changeup is about 85. If a guy gets in a groove, they're tough. So I always figure if a guy's struggling, jump on him early. And then with the rookie, here's the thing. If you're the Cardinals, you've never seen this kid before.
No, you
really don't know.
You don't really have a book.
You don't have a book on him. You saw what Laz talked about, what he's done in AAA. Mm-hmm. But until a guy goes around 2 or 3 or 4 times in the league, you're up there going, okay, we know he's got this, and this from the forward scouting. And that's what's so difficult for a lot of these scouts is watching these guys down in the minor leagues, watching tape, watching film. I'm sure the Cardinals forward scouting probably wasn't given a heads up that he was going to come up and pitch this game. So they got to go back to whatever tape or whatever they have from a lot of their scouts and in the lower league. So this could be one of those 3-2 games like we saw the first game and a one-run victory by the Diamondbacks or first 1 to 10. It could be that kind of a game there at Cardinal Stadium.
All right, let me drop this on both of you because as you guys know, I'm the only one on this show with any journalistic integrity.
And that went out the door.
The rest of you
when
guys
you said your team, the Eastern Washington, what are they? The Pygmies or whatever they are?
Pygmies.
Yeah. We busted them, did we not, Laz?
The Daffodils.
We'll never forget it, Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy, you're toast.
Yeah, so at any rate, you have a no-name tonight on the mound. Nobody knows who this guy is. We've already established that. Tomorrow, you have Zach Gallen on the mound. Everybody knows who he is and how he has performed in the last 5 starts. So my question to both of you, if you believe that the Diamondbacks are going to win a game in the next 2 days against the St. Louis Cardinals, with what you know who's going to be on the mound, would you take tonight or tomorrow night?
Ooh, that's tough.
Hey, I'm just not a pretty face here.
Mitch
Tonight, 100%.
Yeah,
Are you serious? Really?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I'd go tonight because with Mitch Brott, the lefty, he's from Newmarket, Ontario. Newmarket.
Okay,
I think that's a suburb of Toronto, if I'm not
Could
mistaken.
be. I think you're right.
Yeah, you know what? I think the only reason why, and mine might agree because they don't know who this kid is.
Right.
He's a lefty coming
Yeah.
at him.
Yeah.
We got lefty on lefty tonight, so they probably don't have a good book on him. They probably don't understand. Zach Gallen's been around the league a while, so they know what he can do and
what he can't do.
What he can't do.
Yeah.
But he's just been struggling. So I might be crazy as it sounds. I might go with the rookie tonight if they've got a good chance. But here's the thing: in a 4-game series, even if they were to lose, Zach Gallen can hopefully find it. If you split the series before you go to Tampa,
Yeah.
that's big for this
understand.
Diamondback ball club.
I get that. But the question was, your feeling is you would feel better about tonight's game than Zach Gallen on the mound tomorrow night.
And the only reason why the Cardinals haven't seen this kid, nobody's seen this kid yet. That's really the only one.
Okay, that's your reason.
But here's the thing: if he goes 4 or 5 innings, heads up, second and third time around, you get a beat on a pitcher, or you start to understand his strengths and weaknesses. That's what you need. So Torey Lovullo can get this kid through 4 at least or 5 innings without a lot of damage. That's a win for Mitch Brott. It really is, because that second or third time around, that's when you start to see how good a pitcher a kid is one way or the other, or what kind of adjustments this Cardinal team is going to make, because they can score runs.
Yeah.
I mean, their 10-game series, the last 10 games before this series started, they were outscored 58-55. Doesn't bode well for their pitching, but they were scoring runs
They
to
were
keep
scoring
up.
runs.
So this team can hit. So I would only say that if you can get him to 5 without a lot of damage and then get the bullpen in, I give tonight a better chance.
Okay, Laz, I know that you were already on the mic and indicated that you like tonight better. Why is that?
Just because, like you guys were saying, they haven't seen Mitch Brott before, so he may go out and give some good stuff for 5 or 6 innings, whereas you already have such a large book on Zach Gallen, his struggles this year. He has not had good velocity with his fastball. It's been very flat. So I just think you know what you're getting with Zach Gallen, and he hasn't been pitching well of late. He's had some spurts this year where he's thrown the ball well for 5 or 6 innings, gotten a quality start, but he is trending in the wrong direction right now, whereas you've got nothing to lose with this Mitch Brott kid. He may go out and throw 5 or 6 strong innings because they don't have a book on him yet.
There you go. That's the game tonight. You can hear it on our sister station, 98.7. All right, quick timeout. When we come back, the Suns, well, they don't have any picks now in the second round. And according to my illustrious compadre, Dan Manucci, they gave away 622 second-round picks.
Well, give or take a few here
One
and
or
there.
two there. Okay. In order to acquire one Koa Pete. We're going to dive into that. It's coming up next. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
We get it. A meal shouldn't cost you nearly $20. And we agree. At Venezia's Pizzeria, lunch or dinner for under $10 is still a thing. And for an even sweeter deal, stop in and grab a Slice Rewards card. Get a stamp for every qualifying Slice special. 10 visits, 1 free qualifying special. Simple. And every Tuesday, we double your stamps. That's your free pizza twice as fast. Venezia's Pizzeria, a family tradition with great rewards.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Rock for WhiteToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all their innovative web tools on righttoyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at righttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at righttoyota.com.
When hot is not an option, Stay Cool delivers. From patios to warehouses, shops to summer events, Stay Cool's Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube mobile air coolers deliver more air for less money. They're rust-free and backed by more than 40 years of experience keeping you cool. Available now online at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supply. Shipped to the store or right to your door. Visit staycool-products.com. Slim Cool Elite and Cool Cube. Get yours today with free shipping and beat the heat.
Living and having fun in the hot summer sun can turn deadly when mixed with stimulants. Stimulant drugs raise body temperature, impair the brain's ability to regulate heat, and makes it harder for the heart to cope with extreme heat. Studies show 1 in 5 heat-related deaths have involved meth, a stimulant that overheats the body, putting users at higher risk. Be aware and stay safe. Meth and heat is a deadly mix. Visit thenewmeth.com.
Sponsored by the Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Action! When I grow up, I want to be a director because they get to talk to everybody about everything. They get to make cool movies and dance music videos.
If your child is sick over and over again, it could be PI, a defect of the immune system that affects millions. Early testing can give children a chance to dream.
And when I'm a director, I get to say, lights, camera, action.
For more information, visit the Jeffrey Modell Foundation at info4pi.org.
That's a wrap.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620.
Execution on that possession for Florida. Xavier Lee, it's his second 3 of the night. From the Raptors. Here comes Bradley. Bradley gives it to Pete.
I used to use Lookout Below a lot when I was calling games. It's a good call. Thank you to TNT for the Coa-Pete highlight. By the way, it is our State 48 Roofing. It's your call question of the day. State 48 Roofing, you get a free roof inspection before the leaks get here. So right now, get in touch with State 48 Roofing. You can do it old school by calling them, 480-268-4509, or go online, state48roofing.com. Again, that's state48roofing.com. Here's the question. Where will Coa-Pete have an impact for the Suns in his first year?
Immediate impact, Jimmy B.
In the first year. 1, rebounding. 2, instant offense. And 3, defense. 4, physicality. I went rebounding. Because they need all the help they can get. And I get the physicality aspect of it, but Manuch, I went rebounding because they need help on the board.
And if you want to vote, just go to @Roc and Manuch on X or @Roc and Manuch on Instagram. You went the rebounding way. I let this marinate for a little bit.
Oh, brother.
I agree with you.
Have a freaking opinion.
Yeah, I do. Just wait over there, Jimmy B. I don't dance around and moonwalk like you, Michael Jackson. I don't think the instant offense is going to come maybe for a year or two. I like the defensive side. I really like his commitment to defense. The way that we watched him at U of A. I mean, I watched this young man for 4 years at Perry High School.
I know you did.
And I watched him in U of A. I mean, he's dialed in. He might be struggling shooting or having one of those days, but I just like the defensive side. So I was kind of going back and forth between defense and physicality.
Okay.
Because the guy can bring it, but I really like that his commitment to defense, because we saw that wane from the Suns in the second half of the year. I mean, there was a commitment, keyword there, commitment the first half of the year by the Suns.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the hell happened the last month or month and a half for the Suns. So I think the immediate impact that he will commit to is the defensive side. Lads, which You've watched this kid play almost every game last year. Where do you see him? Immediate impact.
Yeah, the obvious immediate impact comes with the physicality. Yep. He is a bruiser, and he wears teams down the way he drives the ball to the hoop, and he does it time and time and time again. But with that being said, that's the main part of his game. That's what makes him so efficient and such a great scorer. And that's why he's been a winner for his whole life, because he's just been bigger than most of the guys he's played against. But people really do sleep on his shooter. He's no three-point sharp shooter. He really struggled with his jump shot from the elbows, but he didn't shoot the ball a lot because he didn't have to. He knew what he was good at in Tucson, and so he took the ball and he took it to the hoop every time. So really what you've seen is he hasn't shot the ball that much. So, yeah, he's shooting 30-some% from the field, but he only took, I think, 20 or 30 threes last year. So the shooting will improve. That's not going to be his game with the Suns, but he is such a physical specimen that it will carry over into the NBA, and it will have an immediate impact.
I got news for you. There are lots of physical specimens in the NBA.
Yeah, they are.
Trust me.
How does this one match up?
Yes.
And I think the key for a lot of us fans or NBA fans, how will he match up versus another 6'8" to 6'10", 250-pounder?
Yeah.
Versus another, say, 6'6", 250-pounder. I mean, whether they play him at the 3 or the 4, I got to imagine right now, Jimmy, I want to get your thoughts. Is he a 3? Is he a true 4? I mean, is he a hybrid? I mean, where do you play him?
He's a tweener.
He's a tweener. Yeah.
He's a tweener.
I think he's going to play more of a 4, so they don't have to rely him to shoot the ball as much, because he's just a bullier.
I agree with that, but he is a tweener, which is not a bad thing. But as his outside shooting improves, then you could probably get in the second or third year more of him playing at the 3 spot. However, let me just say this, that in the NBA, you are up against a stud every night. And I think people forget that every player that is in the NBA was pretty much a star in college.
Sure.
Every player was a star in college. So when you go against, and I'll use this, Manuch, because this one just really got my panties in a bunch. You remember the playoff game against the Portland Trailblazers, and they brought in Donovan Clingan at 7'2".
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay, and they had Devaney as well. He's like 6'9", and the mismatch, and they dominated the glass.
Yeah,
dominated the glass. That, to me, is the most important thing that Koa Pete can help with, and that is block out, grab some boards, play defense, as you mentioned, and then get your points down low when they are available.
Yeah, and his game will grow.
Oh, yeah.
He's too good an athlete.
I agree with that.
By the way, folks, he is a phenomenal athlete. This young man growing up, I know the Pete family very, very well. I remember when Ko was coming up, Todd, Pete, I know very, very well, talking about this young man. They had him playing every sport, dribbling a basketball, because he was a big kid.
Yeah.
He is at Perry High School, and he doesn't just play well, he dominates. So he's dominating seniors, and he's dominating those guys that are older than him.
Oh, yeah.
He was also playing up. So in AAU basketball, a lot of things he did, he was always playing up because he was a big kid.
Yeah.
So he was forced to, number one, grow up mentally, grow up physically, because he was going to play against those guys. So he evolved. And then his senior year, you just saw this young man, he was a man amongst boys.
Yeah.
What he was. But you just think of, he's athletic, he can run the floor, and yes, his game will evolve, and he's going to go through some tough learning lessons. Like you said, you got some dudes down there.
Dudes,
but he moves, when he's in the paint, he moves around so well in the paint that I got to imagine the Suns have got to like the way he can score in the paint, because they didn't have that every game.
That is correct.
And when the Suns went cold with their outside shooting, we used to say all the time, why don't they go down low?
Yeah.
I mean, go inside out versus outside in.
Yep.
So hopefully he'll be able to adhere to that from the get-go.
I hope we're right on this. Hey, look, the kid's a great kid. Manuch, as he referenced, knows the family very well.
He's a hard worker, man.
Yeah, and knows his work ethic, which is exceptional. And that's the kind of guy that you want to draft. But I guess the deficiencies on the Suns raised its ugly head, particularly when we were going down the stretch for the playoffs, because they got pounded on the glass. They got pounded down low. I don't ask me why I keep going back to Portland, but it's just so fresh in my mind because it was a playoff game. Manuch, they had no
Well, that's when
answer.
it counts.
Yeah,
that's when it counts.
Exactly. They had no answer for Donovan Clingan. He was double-double. He had like 15 points and 16 rebounds and 3 block shots. I mean, it was, you got to have guys like that. And they're hoping that Manuch will turn into a guy like that, A, he can be down low, be a rim protector, be a strong rebounder, and a solid defensive player who will alter shots and block shots.
And I know we had Tim Kempton on in the first hour at 1:30. He talked about, you don't have to be a big guy to be down low to be able to be creative with your shot and shoot. But I feel with Manuch, he needs to put more weight on, more strength on, because they move him out of the block too easily. And he's a better shooter than we give him credit for.
I agree with that.
But I don't want to see him if Mark Williams goes away. We need him down low. I want to see more physicality. I want to see more movement. Now he's good he can go both ways to the rim, right or left.
Right or left, yeah.
But I just want to see more establish himself down low. Get him down low, get him stronger. And I think for all 3 big men, whether they keep Williams or not, or Iguodala or Manuch, or whoever it is that they have down low, just to get bigger, stronger, faster, but establish a presence. Here's the other thing. You talk about rebounding. How about all the offensive rebounds the Suns gave up last year?
They did.
That's the thing that drove Suns fans and me batty, was to see those rebounds. Now, a lot of them will go with their 3-point shots and they come off the rim long. I don't care. Put a body on the guy that shoots the 3-point ball. Find somebody and put a body on him. And I think that, and then the turnovers. There's got to be a concerted effort to focus on the turnovers, as this Suns team led the league again in turnovers on average per game, and especially when you get the playoffs. We watch the finals. You watch San Antonio. You watch the Knicks. 5 turnovers for this team, maybe 7. Maybe 12 here, maybe 7 or 8. And then on top of that, except for one game, the offensive rebounding by either team was at a minimum.
Yes.
Now, there was one game, I think it was the 3rd game.
It was the game that the Spurs won.
The Spurs won.
In New York.
Exactly. They got more offensive rebounds.
They did.
Because the big fella, Wemby, was committed to going down low. So if there's 2 areas, hopefully Kopi can help at, handling the ball, taking care of the ball, and just getting his fair share of rebounds. And blocking out. Oh, my gosh, what a novel concept. It's like tackling in football. It's a lost art. How about catching the ball? Another lost art in football. Don't get me started about lost arts.
All right, I won't. Coming up, Campus Quickies.
I'm moving a runner over.
Here we go. ASU, U of A, and also GCU. But let's get you right now to a Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The D-backs picked up a much-needed win last night, rallying in the 9th to beat the St. Louis Cardinals 4-3 and even the series up at a game apiece. Game 3 of the 4-game set gets underway at 4:45 this afternoon, with recent call-up Mitch Bratt expected to get the start for the Snakes as they look to build on last night's win. And on the hardwood, the Phoenix Suns traded up into the first round of the NBA draft last night, selecting hometown product and Arizona Wildcat Koa Pete with the 30th overall pick. The Arizona native now gets his chance to stay home as his NBA career begins in a Phoenix Suns uniform. Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon, top shelf spirits over ice balls, local craft beers, and those famous 29-degree drafts. Paired all with scratch-made bites that actually satisfy.
Now open in North Scottsdale. It's the Orangedale Lounge. ODs. right off Thompson Peak and Bell, next to Bash's. Your new favorite dive bar has arrived. Cold drafts, chill vibes, always affordable prices, and the OD Mug Club, a one-of-a-kind membership you won't find anywhere else. No frills, just great people, ice-cold drinks, and a bar that feels like it's always been there. Follow at OD Scottsdale and get the scoop at orangedalelounge.com. Orangedale Lounge. Dive in and drink up.
Phoenix, if you need a plumber, call the team that does it the right way. Victory Plumbing Arizona. It's particular plumbing for particular people with upfront pricing before the work starts. So there's no surprises when the job's done. And here's a deal just for listeners. Tell them you heard Victory Plumbing on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, and they'll waive the service charge. For leaks, clogs, water heaters, or anything plumbing, book today at victoryplumbingarizona.com. ROC number 268603.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, Rock, for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selection. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and always online at wrighttoyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out wrighttoyota.com.
The biggest soccer tournament on the planet is going on, and there's no better place to catch every match than Twin Peaks. Watch all the action on wall-to-wall TVs with ice-cold 29-degree draft beer, made from scratch food, and game day specials all tournament long. Twin Peaks is going unmatched for every match through July 19th. Cheer on Team USA or your favorite country at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. $5 locations.
Hi, I'm Kim Holderness.
And I'm Penn Holderness. You don't have to have an amazing race to the doctor, but you should make time for routine cancer screenings.
I schedule my mammogram and other cancer screenings around my birthday and then treat myself to lunch.
I do too, because, of course, everyone likes lunch.
The C word can be scary, but routine screenings can detect cancer before symptoms appear.
And early detection equals better outcomes.
Go to preventcancer.org to find out which cancer screenings you need.
Are you a dementia caregiver? Perhaps you care for your spouse, family member, or friend. Whoever it is, being a dementia caregiver can build relationships and test them. I'm Bill, and I want to thank you for the care you have provided. I've faced similar situations, so I'm speaking on behalf of the Dementia Society of America, a nonprofit organization. Request our free guide filled with tips on care, planning, and much more. Go to 1-800-DEMENTIA.org or call 1-800-DEMENTIA. Thank you.
Campus Quickies, your weekly quick look at the Sun Devils, Wildcats, Lumberjacks, and Lopes info, exclusively on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on ESPN 620.
Favorite segments to do, and you're probably asking, well, why is that? Because we get a chance to have conversations with three guys that we happen to like, and Manuch hardly likes anybody. But these three guys...
I beg your pardon. I like everybody, even
guys,
you, Jimmy B. It's hard for me to fathom.
For you to say that. Yeah. These three guys we happen to like. Let's begin with ASU. And that means that Hod Rabino is our guest at Devil's Digest, and you can find him on X at Devil's Digest. Hod, welcome, pal, as always. Did it surprise you that 7 Big 12 basketball players were selected in the first round the way that they were?
Well, in some respects, you really can't be too surprised because the Big 12, and, maybe there's some bias speaking over here, I think is the best conference in America.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Yeah. But, there definitely were some history-making notes that took place yesterday. For the first time ever, the Big 12 had the first 2 overall selections in the NBA draft, as well as 4 top 10 picks in the NBA draft. And overall, 9 of the first 30 picks in the draft did come from this conference. So in some respects, I'm not surprised, but in other respects, that feels an historic night for the league. And I don't think anybody else needed further proof how challenging the Big 12 is. But if they still needed that proof, I think it came last night.
Hod, you watch a lot of basketball players come up through the ranks of college and go to the National Basketball Association. How do you see Cole Pete's game fitting immediately and then eventually growing in a career?
Well, look, I mean, I think in some respects the Suns, probably did him a solid because there were a lot of draft experts prior to the draft. I thought that Cole Pete made a mistake coming out early. His NBA draft workouts, for the most part, were not impressive. But I give credit to the Suns thinking that serving some home cooking to somebody like Cole Pete is something that can possibly benefit them. I know his outside shot is one thing he needs to work on, and also maybe not being so much of a tweener, but having a more defined niche at the next level. That's another challenge, a challenge that does await him. But I give credit for the Suns for taking maybe a flyer on the hometown kid. And look, I'm a big Perry High School fan, so I have a lot of respect for Cole Pete, what he did for the Pumas back in the day.
When you take a look at what the Big 12 Conference was able to accomplish this year, and yep, we all agree that it was the best conference in the country. But the way that they, I guess, played throughout the entire year, it was rough, tough basketball. They let guys play in the Big 12.
Yeah, and I think when you look at the makeup of this ASU basketball squad under Randy Bennett, I believe the number is 5 or 6 players standing 6'8" or taller. So I think Randy Bennett, even though he might be a newbie to the Big 12, he understands the style of basketball that's being played, and I think that the physicality of this Sun Devil team has to improve in order for them to make more of a mark in a very, very challenging conference.
Hey, got about a minute here. We're going to have former Sun Devil great Jeff Ayers / Jeff Pendergraph on at 3:30, Hod. Talk about a guy that set the tone, changed a lot of things at ASU, and went on and had a great pro career.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's definitely one of those guys, great player, even better person, and you're right. Back in the day when Herb Zendick was setting the foundation for ASU before James Harden arrived, Jeff was definitely one of those players that was the cornerstone of the program. Somebody that even though he wasn't born and raised in the Valley or went to high school here, he really was a Sun Devil through and through. Especially in those games against U of A, you could see the passion just oozing out of him. So he's a player that I have tons of respect for, and I'm very happy that he also was able to win, if I'm not mistaken, at least one ring.
Yes,
in the NBA. So kudos to Jeff, great guy.
All right, pal. Thank you. You have a great day.
Thank you, guys.
There you go. That's Hod Rabino, Devil's Digest. Let's go to Tucson. That means Steve Rivera is our guest. He's been covering AZ hoops for a long, long, long time. Also, the sports talk show host at Fox Sports 1450. He's on with us right now. So the Suns cut a deal to move into the first round, and they get Cole Pete. So with what took place, Steve, with all of the conversation, and you even referenced it, that people were saying, well, maybe he should play another season in college. It didn't matter. He still went in the first round.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. I'll probably say that again today in the show. I'm going on a little bit. And it worked out, didn't it? Going back home and playing for a team that really, really wants him, that knows him, has seen him enough and a lot. I think if you're going to go the last, you're the last guy in the first round, why not make it perfect? And I think this could have been as perfect as it could have been for him.
Watching him this 1 year you had down there, Steve, what were some of the strengths and weaknesses, and what do you feel those strengths are that will transcend into the NBA?
Well, he's a power guy, right? He likes to play the game. He's a power guy. He's a winner. He's got a high IQ, can do a lot of things. He's not as good as Luke was at the top of the key in seeing things, because Luke was so fantastic at it. But he has that ability because he has great IQ and can see things. There's only one, I don't say maybe only one, there's probably more, but the most visible is the shooting, of course. But, it takes time, it takes a lot of motion, it takes a lot of time. and a lot of repetition. So I think that'll be cured in the next few months. To what degree, I don't know. But the dude, you can't duplicate what he does in other ways. You know, his body, his motor, all that good stuff.
I was going to say at 6'8", 235, 240, you've seen a lot of athletes come up and down the highway there, I-10, to go to U of A. Is he one of the better athletes you've seen in the basketball program in the last several years?
Yeah, probably maybe top 5, top 7.
Okay.
There's been a lot of guys. You know, you got Richard Jefferson up there. You have Dylan Terry. You got a lot of dudes who kind of can run up and down and do it forever. But yes, obviously built like the Roc, strong, can get to the boards. You know, one of Tommy Lloyd's biggest thing was get to the boards. Get to the boards. You're not going to do anything but get to the boards, and that's really how to do.
Speaking of Tommy Lloyd, how good are they going to be this coming season? It seems to me that he got enough of the core of the team to stay, and now with what he has added.
Looks like he reloaded, Steve.
Yeah. We just don't know how good those international kids are.
Okay.
Probably pretty good. But, you know, I've been doing shows with you guys for a long time and covered this team for a heck of a long time, as you promoted me. I can't remember the last time they said that this team's going to suck. I don't think I've ever said that. And like I said on the show a number of times, don't cry for Arizona. They'll be fine.
And one guy we've been remiss to not mention, seeing Burries go to Milwaukee, the 10th pick. How do you think that game will transcend?
Yeah. That's. I think it's going to transcend perfectly. He's got that NBA game, you know, can get to the basket pretty easily, not easily, but very well. And it has the outside game from distance that'll kind of fit perfectly into the game. So we'll see, but I think that he'll be fine. Very, very, very good NBA guy.
Okay.
A lot of upsets.
Okay. With all of that and the two guys that were selected in Pete and Burries, which guy in your estimation pops first to become a really good NBA player?
Burries.
Okay.
No question. Yeah. I think only because Koa probably has a lot of room to grow in the position. Where's he going to play? I don't think he's a 3. He's got to be a bigger 4.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got a lot to learn and a lot to get used to, if you will.
Always good, pal. When you are on the show with
You'll
us.
have a great show this afternoon,
Yeah,
Steve.
will,
I guarantee it, buddy.
Yeah, you will.
We're going to talk a lot of Suns. That's not always the norm, but we will today. Thank you, guys.
All right. I'm going to call into your show and bust on you.
Please do. Please do. We like
it. Steve Rivera, everybody.
Don't wish for that, Steve, at all. You don't want that.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. All right. Let's go to GCU. And that means Paul Coro is our guest, University Hoops radio analyst. You can find him on X at Paul Coro. That's at Paul Coro. Paul, welcome as always, pal. Before we get into the Mountain West and GCU, quickly your thoughts on what the Suns did in making that deal to acquire Koa Pete.
Well, I mean, I think it's, or you at least hope it's more than a popularity move with a great local player who has a great legacy from high school to college. But I think in the end, what it is in a very deep draft, you get a guy at the most inexpensive, guaranteed for your contract to be cap friendly. And if he has the potential in another draft to be, more of a mid first round pick, and then you've got great value. But in the meantime, you're not really putting a heavy hit on your cap to kind of manage the rest of the roster. And you've got a guy that's going to be a hard worker because he obviously has to prove that he can shoot better.
And then, Paul, as I mentioned, a couple guys that are projected, Jaden Henley from your backyard, and also MJ Collins from Utah State, projected to maybe could be going in the second round. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, for Jaden Henley, he had a breakout year as a GCU senior and put up a stat line, with about 18.6 rebounds, 3 assists, a couple steals a game that only 2 other guys in the country did. So, but even with that, he kind of needed everything after the season ended to rise up on the boards. He went to Portsmouth which is more kind of an old school combine. Like it's familiar to the old heads.
Correct.
It used to be a bigger deal. And now it's kind of a tier thing to where seniors have to show themselves. And he was an all-tournament guy there. And I think the NBA looks at Jaden Henley very differently because he's only 22. In this age where you have fifth and sixth year seniors who are almost 24, 25 years old, a guy who's 6'7", who really improved his body a lot at GCU with the strength program is very intriguing to them because he gets downhill and finishes, and he's proven in the past that he can shoot. He became a better defender. So what you've seen is him popping up a lot as a potential late second-round pick. Now, that's so hard to predict in the NBA second round. You know, the first round is much more of the best candidates and players. The second round, you start getting into team agendas. You know, do they want to draft and stash Euro? Are they really looking at a guy to make the roster? Jaden Henley, regardless of whether he's drafted in the second round or gets a free agent contract, is a potential two-way contract kind of player for a team that you'll see in the summer league. And Nano Uso-Anane also, not necessarily a second-round candidate tonight, but a guy who will probably end up in the NBA summer league. And you also asked about MJ Collins. That was Utah State guard who really blew up this year, and that's a great example of just opportunity. He was on the bench at Vandy, but had been a starter at Virginia Tech, and more than doubled his scoring, and became like just this different type of go-to player that gave himself a chance just by being in the right place.
And the other one that I did have, but you'd mentioned Miles Bird. He's not coming out. He went to sign with Providence. Is that what happened? He's going to stay one more year.
Really intriguing guy, right? Like when you see Miles Bird play at San Diego State last couple of years, he looks like an NBA prospect.
Sure.
He's a 3-and-D guy, incredible defensive player, best defensive player in the conference, and with instincts and wingspan, athleticism, and then he chose Providence, which was, obviously Big East is great basketball, but curious a move, from San Diego State to go to Providence when there must have been plenty of options out there for him in the college game and maybe in the pros.
Plenty of cash out there for him in Providence. That's the key there.
I mean, some of these guys are taking a pay cut going to the NBA.
That's more than fair. Thanks, man. It's always great when you're on with us. Have a good day.
All right, you as well. Thanks.
There you go. Paul Coro, everybody, at GCU. And the Campus Quickies presented by All City Towing. And you can join All City Towing. They are Arizona's largest towing company. And right now, they're hiring drivers and dispatchers. They pay well, and they have wonderful benefits. They also offer you a monthly fuel allowance. And in today's economy, how important is that? A monthly fuel allowance. Here's all you have to do if you want to apply. Go online, allcitytowing.com, and search careers. Again, that's allcitytowing.com and search careers. It's All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward. When we come back, it's our World Cup update. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball, to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views. Bigger fields, bigger events, bigger experiences. Arizona Athletic Grounds. Arizona Athletic Grounds is a 275-acre sports and entertainment destination for athletes, fans, and families. Located in Mesa, AAG is one of the largest multi-sport complexes in the country, with over 475,000 square feet indoors and more than 150 fields and courts. From tournaments to training to cheer, dance, concerts, and corporate events, the grounds does it all. Learn more at azgrounds.com.
I was in a wreck. I need a check. I was in a wreck. I need a check. I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm Attorney Kevin Rowe. Getting rear-ended once is bad enough. Don't let the insurance company hit you again with a lowball offer. Call an experienced attorney who knows how to fight and win. Call Lerner and Rowe today. 977-1900.
When it comes to your roof, you don't want to mess around. And Arizona homeowners and business owners have known that for over a decade. State 48 Roofing is Arizona's #1 referred roofer. Residential, commercial, they do it all. And they've been doing it right here in the Valley for over 10 years. Protect your home, protect your business. And hey, keep your roof sexy with State 48 Roofing. Visit state48roofing.com. or call 480-268-4509. State 48 Roofing, Arizona's most trusted roof.
Our legacy began in 1963. Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf has been your trusted golf shop for generations. From the early days to the present, we've been serving local golfers with excellent service and expertise. Our goal is to empower your journey with the best gear and advice in golf, all backed by our legendary 90-day guarantee. Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf is here to help you get there.
When it's game time in the Valley, you know what time it is. It's Twin Peaks time. Head to Twin Peaks with 5 Valley locations and massive screens everywhere you look. From basketball, baseball to hockey, fights, and more, there's no better place to catch every play and all the action. Bud Light is a proud partner of sports fans everywhere. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
The U.S. is on the world stage, and there's a lot to get to. This is your World Cup soccer update, powered by Twin Peaks. 5 locations across the Valley showing you every match, and Michelob Ultra pouring all summer long. Let's get you caught up.
Bruno Fernandes. Neto sprinting down the right. Ronaldo through the middle. It's Cristiano Ronaldo for Portugal. It's 3-0. And Ronaldo strikes again.
All right, guys. We are reaching the end of the group stages here. So they are really jamming a lot of games into these last couple of days. We have a high 6 games today. A couple of them are already final. I'll run you through those ones. Bosnia beat Qatar 3-1 this morning in a game that gives them a good chance to advance into the knockout stages. But we'll have to wait and see what happens with some of these other games to see where they stand in their group. And then a big one, a really big one that took place this morning, Switzerland versus Canada, with the winner of that one clinching their group. So that was 0-0 deep into the second half. But Switzerland scored 2 late goals, both right after the half. And Canada got one back in the 76th minute. But it wasn't enough. So we'll have to see if Canada can squeak through in one of those wild card spots with this new format they have. But Switzerland won that group, so that was a huge game, probably the biggest one of the day today. So they won that group, and they'll advance to the knockout stages. Some of the other games we got going on here today, though, at 3 o'clock, we're going in about 10 minutes here, actually, we're going to have 2 more games starting. We got Morocco facing off versus Haiti, where Haiti's already eliminated, so there's not much impact for there. But they're going to be trying to play spoiler because Morocco is trying to make it out of that group with Scotland and Brazil. So that's a loaded group. And so it's going to be close to see which of those 2 teams can make it out of the group. I have a hunch the third may still get one of those wild card spots. But those first 2 spots to win that group, that gets you in a much better position going forward. And then the other games starting at 3 here in 10 minutes are the 2 teams I just mentioned. Scotland versus Brazil.
Can't wait.
They haven't played well, Brazil. They have not played very well here in these group stages.
They've been a little scruffle-up-less, haven't they?
Yeah, they're older nowadays.
Yeah.
Neymar is still on the team, but he's not touching the pitch. They have some stars like Vinicius Jr., and they still have Rafinha playing at striker. But it's going to be interesting to see. With a win here against Scotland, they'll still win their group, but they haven't looked as fresh as they should. And Scotland fans have slammed their way into the United States. They have been everywhere. I don't know if you saw the videos over on the East Coast. They've been playing in Boston this whole time.
Did you see the Norway fans in Times Square?
Unbelievable.
Hey,
I love it when they just sit down in the middle of the street and start rowing.
Yeah, we'd like them to start tipping everybody on the servers as well, too. If you would please. Big story. Roc brought this up on Monday. And there was a huge story last night on the news everywhere. So, Roc said they're not accustomed to tipping their servers because they pay them good wages.
Yeah.
In fact, we were over in Italy. they're saying, well, it's not recommended you tip because they get good wages. We tip anyway. We still tip 20%.
Sure.
So that's the one thing is, hey, don't be afraid to tip your waiter.
Throw
Like
a dollar down.
That an $800 bill, 0 tip. So the servers have been politely going online. Just tip your server.
Well, these Europeans, they know how to drink. They know how to drink a lot.
Yeah, they know how to tip their tie. Well, they're as tight as Jimmy B for crying out loud.
So they're running up $700, $800 tabs.
Yeah.
And they're leaving $1 on the table.
Yeah.
If that.
So they're adding all this autograt so that these servers get what they deserve.
I think they need to put like a can of WD-40 at the front just to remind these people to just,
squeak.
You're squeaking. Don't be afraid to tip. Hey, Laz, get through the teams already through to the round of 32. I think this is interesting because you've got some winners, but you got some teams, as you mentioned, they're just fighting for their lives to get to the round of 32.
Yeah, we'll go through it here. We'll start with the top. In Group A, we already have Mexico through. It looks like South Korea will be the other team there, but Czechia still has a chance, so they're not out of it quite yet. And believe it or not, South Africa still has a chance. So that's a tight group, but Mexico's already won that group, and they're through. In Group B, like we just mentioned, Switzerland has won that group after their win today versus Canada. But Canada and Bosnia still have a chance to advance. It's going to be tight with those last few teams there. Over to Group C, this is where it's all going to unfold here in 10 minutes because you got Brazil, Morocco, and Scotland that can all three still win that group. Brazil with 4 points, Morocco with 4, and Scotland with 3. So it's going to come down to these games here, both starting in a second, to see who comes out of that group. But I would guess Brazil and Morocco based on the matchups that they do have. Over to our group, Group D. United States have won that one. And it looks like it'll be Australia, but we'll have to see what happens in their final game as well to see who gets that final spot. But all that matters in that group is that the United States came out on top. Over to Group E here, we got Germany. They've already clinched their top spot. And thanks to Ivory Coast hanging in there against Germany last Saturday, Ecuador has fallen a bit flat. So they were only at 1 point with Ivory Coast at 3. So similar situation. It's going to come down to that final match to see who snags that second spot. But we're not going to have a third team from that group in the wild card. Not enough points there. A few other of the top groups here. We've got the Netherlands and Japan tied at 4 with Sweden right behind at 3. So that's going to be another similar situation where all these last games in these group stages are going to be huge because you could go from winning the group to not even making it to the knockout stages because they don't quite have enough points either to advance on. And then let's just touch on some of the other important groups here. The England group, they have gotten themselves into quite the dilemma by tying with Ghana yesterday. That did not help them at all. There's a serious chance if things don't go their way that they don't even advance to the knockout stages, which I think they will. But that another team like Brazil, they have looked really, really flat-footed. And then Argentina's through, France is through, Colombia and Portugal should be through, but Portugal might not win that group. And so we'll see what happens. And then last but not least, Spain is going to be through in first place of that group.
There you go. That's
Good job, Laz.
Yeah, on the World Cup. I'm really looking forward to the Scotland-Brazil.
Scottish Brazil.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Hey, quick time out. When we come back, former San Antonio Spurs world champion, ASU basketball Hall of Famer, Jeff Ayers is going to be our guest. Yes, we are going to talk Phoenix Suns and the selection of Koa Pete. It is Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
Joe Fallon did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he commissioned a portrait of himself. Does Joe already know what he looks like? Yes. Do guests know what he looks like? Also yes. But not his heart. It's Joe's savings, and if he wants to spend it on a velvet painting of himself with a white tiger at his feet, we say, roar, Joe, roar. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Meet Lee Platts, a renter whose possessions fill not only her apartment, but also the darkest corners of a mini storage unit. A land of both truth and fiction. Truth, everything inside is protected by Progressive. Fiction, one day Lee will fit into her clothes from senior year of high school. Renters, discover coverage for what you love and what you can't get rid of in Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
In baseball, every decision matters. One pitch can change the game. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And like a good manager, building a strong financial plan takes strategy and the right team.
Torey Lavello here. Jeff's right. In baseball, you can't just watch one part of the field. You have to see the whole game.
And that's how we think about financial planning. Most advisors just manage investments and refer you somewhere else for taxes or estate planning.
But the best teams work together.
Exactly. At Trajan Wealth, we built a family office model that brings everything together. Wealth, tax, estate, one team, making sure every part of your plan plays well together.
That's why I trust Trajan Wealth. With my family's plan, they see the whole field.
Call Trajan today, 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Hey, it's Kevin Rowe from Lerner & Rowe, trusted across Arizona for helping injured people after serious car wrecks. And I'm Sean Forrester, managing attorney at Lerner & Rowe Law Group. We may sound alike, but Lerner & Rowe Law Group is a completely separate firm focused solely on criminal defense. We handle serious felonies, DUIs, and misdemeanors with decades of courtroom experience. If you're facing criminal charges, don't wait. Call Lerner & Rowe Law Group now at 602-977-1900.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
KTAR AM Phoenix, Arizona's home for the worldwide leader in sports, is ESPN 620. On ESPN 620.
All right, everybody, we roll for the next hour all the way until 4 o'clock. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Manuch, you having fun?
Absolutely.
Okay,
I'm excited. We got the hometown boy going to be playing with the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
Koa Pete. That was interesting. You hear the draft. Dallas Mavericks take Koa Pete. At least we'll see him a couple times a year.
Yeah.
Then the trade happens for, what was it, 35?
They went to the Knicks, and then the Knicks shipped them here.
Knicks to the Memphis to Algeria, over to Milwaukee, via the Lakers.
To Saskatchewan.
All the way back, up to Manitoba. You get rid of that. What was the total? Last 5 second-round picks is what it ended up at.
That's
total.
The Knicks got 3 from the Suns and 2 from Memphis.
Yeah.
But I've always stood on the side where second round picks are made to be traded.
They are.
Sure.
Yeah,
they are.
Yeah, I'm not concerned that they're not going to have those.
No.
picks.
Hell, I mean they've done studies that beyond the 20th round, this doesn't happen for the Suns. Beyond the 20th round, those are
20th pick.
Beyond the 20th pick. They did a study, those from after the 20th pick through the second round. The longevity of that individual is, if maybe 5 years.
If that.
Because a lot of them are going to the G League now.
Yeah.
We just heard from Paul Coro from GCU for our Campus Quickies. The combines they send these guys to, the G League combine versus the NBA combine. Now, there's not to say there's several guys that will filter through in those late first-round picks or second-round picks that eventually become good NBA players. But the percentages are against them that if they don't shine in the G League or get their shot within 3 or 4 years, they also found out a lot of these guys go over to Europe and play.
Yeah, they do.
Like we're going to have Jeff Ayers on here, outstanding ASU athlete, Hall of Famer, formerly known as Jeff Pendergraft, so you guys can kind of put that together. He changed his name from Pendergraft to Ayers. Change it back to his dad's biological name. But he had a good career. He won a ring with San Antonio.
Yeah, with the Spurs.
And he had, played 14, 15, 60 years of pro basketball. I mean, that's damn good. But that's rare. And a lot of guys that do make it in the NBA for several years, they go on and try to finish their career in Europe. I thought the NFL was tough to make. It is extremely tough to make if you go beyond that 16th pick in the NBA draft.
Manuch, how many players make an NFL team? 53. Plus the taxi squad.
Plus the 10, yeah.
Yeah, how many players make a NBA team? 15. 15. That's it. And then you can put guys on your G League team who will never see the light of day.
There's 12 there, probably 10 to 12 there.
That's it. I mean, it's such a difference. People don't get it. They all see a guy who's really a good player in college. Oh, he's going to be an NBA player. No, he's not. He's not. He's a really good college player. You don't understand how difficult it is to be an NBA player. And it always cracks me up because I'll be at the refreshment stand and they'll bring in like the 7th or 8th guy on the bench, and the guy knocks down 3 or 4 shots in 10 minutes that he's on the court. Oh, he should be starting. What? No, you don't understand how really good players are. Manuch can tell you
they can
how
all
really
shoot.
good NFL players are. He lived it. They are good.
They're damn good. It's amazing.
Yeah, and then the same can be said of the NBA, in Major League Baseball, and also in the National Hockey League.
And it's rare. You know, we looked at the Knicks, and you saw Brunson, Bridges, and Hart on that Villanova team those 2 years.
Yep.
That is so rare to have those 3 individuals. They win a couple of national titles to go to the NBA. Number one, they all make it. They all play at a high level. But to have them all on the same team and the New York Knicks at the NBA and win a title again. So the rarity, if you think about that, I can't even think about some of the college teams over the years, Jimmy B, that have had 2 players, let alone 3.
Oh, I'll tell you right now, because Michigan had all 3 of their players selected in the first round.
But they never won a national title.
Michigan won the national title.
Oh, this year, yes.
But they weren't. But they're not on the same team.
Exactly.
So that's the difference. But yes, they did have 3 of their stud players selected in the first round.
Yes, and to see that number one, and then to have them to see if they were to go to on the same team.
Yeah.
I mean, that is so rare. But the point is, hey, look, as good as Jalen Brunson is, and Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart, for example, just for them to come out, them to make it, and then to establish themselves, as a star level, superstar, star, or just a good role player is very, very difficult at best. So when you see a lot of these guys that are coming out, you know, and we talked to Paul Coro about Jaden Henley.
Yeah.
He balled out for GCU, right?
I watched him.
You were talking about this MJ Collins kid out of Utah State. I watched him a couple times.
He was great.
He was damn good as a college player.
As a college player.
So
he hasn't gotten a sniff in the NBA yet.
And I will say this, playing the NFL, you hear about this guy, he played really well in the SEC, or he played really well in the Big Ten, or he played really well in the Big 8, on and on. So I'd see them come out and compete. I went, really?
Manuch,
really?
How old are you, Manuch? You just referenced the Big 8.
Big 8. I'll be a young, spry 69 in September.
The Big 8.
But the key is they might be good in that conference or that team. But when they get when they get the big boy ball, they don't have that skill set or that know-how. And I'm like, who ranked these guys? Who put them as a 3rd rounder? Who put them? You see what I'm saying?
I understand.
But I also think the other thing that it really comes into play here when you got Coapede, and we've all talked about the Big 12, we all feel is the best basketball conference in all the land, is the competition you play. And we talked about 7 Big 12 players came out in the first round.
Correct.
7.
Yeah.
The first 2.
The first 2 were Big 12 players.
Big 12 players, but I think that matters. Not in every case.
Right.
And there's talented individuals that come from smaller schools that have the talent.
That's correct.
But I really believe you're hearing from scouts. This is in football. This is in baseball. It's in basketball. Probably in hockey. Probably a lot of college sports. If you go to the pro level, the next level, Who did you play against? How did you play against a competition? Were you consistently pretty solid versus some of the best competition in the nation at the college level? A lot of times that's going to transcend into the pro level because you can compete, you're winning. You take those same kind of tool set with you as you go to the next level.
Can you name a guy who, and we can go back in history as well, who you can remember played at a small school, a nothing school at the time?
I can give you two of them.
Okay. And then made it huge in the NBA.
Calvin Murphy.
Calvin Murphy at Niagara University.
I'd even say a big Bob Lanier at St. Bonaventure.
I've got one more for you.
Let me think here.
Okay. All right. West Coast. That should be the tip right there. West Coast.
Steve Nash.
Santa Clara.
Yep.
Even bigger than that. John Stockton.
Oh, you're Stockton.
I got a couple good ones for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scottie Pippen, Damian Lillard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damian was at Utah State.
Weber State.
Weber State, thank
And
you.
then Scotty was Central Arkansas.
Central Arkansas. Yeah. I mean, so your point is there are guys
that do filter through.
Hey,
when they pick Steve Nash, I'm like, who?
Yeah, everybody said that.
You know, Steve Nash, what, Santa Clara? Was it Santa Clara? Santa Clara
Broncos.
So, you watch him the first year with the Suns first couple years ago. Okay, but when he went to Dallas,
oh man,
that's when he just exploded because they allowed him to grow and develop. That's the other thing as well too. You just hope when a guy gets to a team, Koa Pete, we mentioned all those guys that eventually really panned out in the National Basketball Association. Became big stars. They allowed them to play.
Yep.
They allowed them to develop. I remember when Amari Stoudemire got here, if it wasn't a layup or a dunk, that was his game.
Uh-huh.
Now, Phil Weber, who was the assistant coach at the time under Mike D'Antoni, worked with him for 3 years.
Okay.
We used to get Phil on the show quite a bit. And Phil said, when Roc and I took a good 3 years for him to develop, number one, the shot at the elbow, the turnaround jumpers off the glass, a good 3 years to develop the shot. But not only that, to develop confidence and to get away from the slam dunks, to get away to grow his game.
Yeah, you can't dunk every time.
You can't. And develop his game. And he became one of the superstars in the NBA.
I agree.
For a long period of time until the microfracture surgeries. And his knees started to give out or really started to wear down.
Yeah, he was never the same when he went to the Knicks.
So you hope a Koa Pete, he's got the talent, he's got the skill set, comes in, can help in a couple, 2 or 3 different areas, and they work with him and allow him to develop and develop on a week in and week out basis, much like Maluach.
Yes.
I think we're in the same thing. Let him develop, let him play. And hopefully they develop and
All
they
right,
can become
let
the
me
stars.
Stop you. You just said let Maluach play. If he's going to play Manuch, what are you going to do with Mark Williams?
You can play them both. You can bring him off the bench.
You're going to bring Williams off the bench and start Maluach?
I don't know. That's a decision that's going to be, I think, very difficult for the Suns brass if Mark Williams is on this team. I don't know if they think Maluach is ready to be a starter against these guys in the NBA yet.
Okay.
Not yet. But hey, they threw Amari Stoudemire in there. They took the floaties off, said, here you go. But he had a hell of a supporting cast around him.
Well, yes.
Joe Johnson,
yes.
Steve Nash,
Yeah.
Q-Man, Richardson. And you had, the Q. You had Marion, and then
Sean Marion.
They had some dudes on that team.
They were.
Joe Johnson, if you stick around, hey, Robert Sarver, stand up for your word. Otherwise, he stays versus going to Atlanta. Still upset about
God,
that.
I can tell.
Man.
Gee whiz. We should just do a whole show on what Manuch is pissed about.
Oh, yeah. The Suns go along. I don't even include the Cardinals because that ship is sailed.
The Suns, right? Yeah.
That ship's got a bunch of bones on it, and that's just sailing out in the sea. We have no idea where that thing's going.
All right. When we come back, a little more on Koa Pete. Also, it is baseball tonight as well. It is game 3 of the series. Hey, Laz, who's the kid that's going to pitch that nobody's never heard of before?
Mitch Bratt.
Mitch Bratt.
Old Canadian boy.
All right.
From Ontario.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right. We're coming right back. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. ESPN 620.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Head to Westworld in Scottsdale as we celebrate America's 250th birthday. The largest fireworks display in Scottsdale history and an unforgettable day of family fun, patriotism, and community pride. Enjoy the action-packed 406 rodeo with bull riding, bronc riding, wild pony races, button busting for the kids, and more. Explore the history of Scottsdale walking tour. Cheer on competitors at the 4th annual Cold Beers and Cheeseburgers Summer Slider Eating Contest Championship and the 3rd annual Water Balloon Championship. See the all-new South Hall Kids Zone, featuring kid-friendly vendors, face painters, activities, and bounce houses. And enjoy everyone's favorite backyard barbecue by M Culinary. Plus, celebrate local heroes during the 7th annual Parade of Heroes. This year, you can reserve front row fireworks seating and secure your spot before Scottsdale's largest fireworks display in history lights up the Arizona sky. Celebrate 250 years of America. Get your tickets today at scottsdale4.com. Produced by R Entertainment.
Join the team at All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing company and leader in roadside service. We're hiring dispatchers, call takers, lot attendants, drivers, and customer service pros ready to grow with us. You'll enjoy state-of-the-art equipment, consistent schedules, full health benefits, a strong 401k match, employer life insurance, and a monthly fuel allowance. Take your career to the next level. Apply today at allcitytowing.com. All City Towing, where your future is always moving forward.
Unleash your swing at Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf with all the new Titleist GTS drivers and fairways. Find the perfect GTS driver to gain superior distance, accuracy, and ball speed. Book your fitting for the new Titleist GTS driver in-store or online at worldwidegolf.com. Trusted by golfers since 1963 and home to the legendary 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee. Vans Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Get there.
Need to feed a crowd? Let Venencia's bring the flavor to your next event. We know you have a lot of options when feeding a large group. Ordering directly from Venencia's means you get the best service and the absolute best pricing. There's no per-person fee. Just tell us how many people you need to feed, and we'll come up with the perfect plan to ensure everyone's well-fed and happy. Grad party, office celebration, family reunion. Invite Venencia's to the table. Text catering to 411-24/7. That's catering to 411-247 or Venencias.com.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620.
Love Me Twice Today. Were you a big fan of this song?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was this the Doors?
Yeah.
I was a fan.
Remember where you were?
His 67, 68. I was in sixth grade. 6th, 7th grade. Man, if you could go listen to somebody who had albums in those days, either a 45 or 33, you're at their house listening to the album like 5 times. But when the Doors came out, there's a couple, 2 or 3 songs. And then, I mean, it's like, and next thing you know, the guy's, this great song, then he dies. You know, you think of Janis Joplin, you think of, exactly.
Jeez.
So you're all of 21 years old. That era, 68, 69, 70, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and then the Doors within 3 years, they all passed. I think it was 2 years.
Mama Cass died eating a sandwich.
All these great tunes, lads, are coming out. Next thing you know, they OD.
The guy's name is Jim Morris.
I'm sorry, Jim Morris. Yeah. The guy singing this song.
I knew what you meant.
This guy.
But
what a great voice. Just a great voice.
I mean, it's tragic.
I mean, the stories behind the story is just tragic that all 3 died within a 2 or 3 year period. But they left the music behind, which is good.
That's what we like. Our State 48 Roofing, it's your call question of the day. Where will Koa Pete have an immediate impact for the Suns in year 1? You have 4 options. 1, rebounding. 2, instant offense. 3, defense. 4, physicality. So I have already put my 2 cents in, and I went with rebounding because if he doesn't rebound, the Suns are going to suck again as a rebounding team in the NBA.
And Laz, before we get your pick here, let's do a quick update. Let's go to X at Roc and Manuch, and then Instagram at Roc and Manuch to see how the people. I went defense. I think that's the biggest thing he can contribute immediately to right now. Is this his defensive progress?
Isn't rebounding part of defense?
Yeah, but I've seen a lot of guys that can't play D. That at least they're good rebounders. I've seen a lot of guys. Hey, you stop thinking about some of these guys out front. They play Olay ball, but they do crash the rim. They get a rebound once in a while.
Yeah, once in a while. No, he has to be a rebounding machine.
Well, if he doesn't get down low, I get that. But I'm going to go defense. Laz, which way did you go on this?
I went with physicality, and it looks like a lot of our audience agrees with us. About 66.7% went with physicality. The other 33.3% went with rebounding.
Okay.
So there's the things he could just pure heart, hustle.
I get that.
Just energy. I almost put energy in there, but that if you're going to play defense or rebound, you got to have the energy. You got to want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's not the glamour part of the game. It is not.
And the one thing that when you watch the Knicks win this title, 4-1, that was a commitment. Even the Catman, the first couple of games, was committed to rebounding and defense.
He was.
Those were the things. And then when you watch San Antonio, their commitment to defense. I mean, how hard they played defense. It was actually fun to see. Not the first one to 135. It was the first one to 105 when those basketball games.
If I say the name Caruso, first thing you think of is he's going to be on the floor. He's going to play hard-nosed defense on their best guard, and that's going to be his assignment.
Castle was the same way.
Castle was the same way for the Spurs.
He was the same way. You have that guy that's just all over the place, and I would hope that Koa Pete would be that guy, whoever he guards, just to be in his grill, to be that gnat. That guy's trying to shoo him away every time, but he keeps coming back to him because he's got that good smelling perfume or cologne on, and they're attracted to the cologne, those gnats. I don't get it. You're like, geez, get away from me.
That's why I don't wear that stuff.
Exactly. But I think that, whether it be rebounding or defense, those are things he could just do immediately and then eventually develop his offense, which I think he will. And then the physicality is a given. This kid has always been physical. He's a big, strong, girthy young man that can run. So the boy's got some base, Laz. The boy got some ass on him. That's for sure. Give it to me, Laz.
I like big butts.
I was going to say, it's been almost an hour and a half since we did that. Let's do that one more time. It's been too long. Let's do that again.
I like big butts.
Could you have a walk-up song in baseball?
I like big butts.
Could you imagine that a walk-up song we introduced the basketball players and this game? And now, out of U of A, 6'8", 245, you got Koa P.
I like big butts and I cannot lie. I'm down with that.
Let's pitch it to him. He might be down.
I'm down with that. That would be awesome.
They'll go, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
We'd have to take that moniker away from Charles Barkley.
Oh, God, that is way too fun.
Thinking of Charles and just the base that he had, or the butt he had, he'd be a great guy to work with, Koa Pete, as far as that 3 position or maybe the 4 position. Because Charles was interchangeable at 3 or 4.
Charles about 6'5", 6'6".
But he was big. He was girthy.
Man.
He could just move, and he had hops.
Oh, big time.
But he'd be one of the guys I'd say, hey, look, Koa, go dial up Charles to see how he developed his offensive game, or just his game in general, and how he could bring the ball down the court, how he could pass, the physicality of rebounding, getting down there at 6'5", 6'6", and all of a sudden he's the leading rebounder of the game amongst these 6'10" to 7-footers that are down there. So I think he'd be I think we'll volunteer one Charles Barkley to work with one Koa Pete.
I'll tell you another guy I just thought of who is similar, Adrian Dantley.
Yes,
Dantley,
AD.
Big behind and was roughly about 6'5"-ish, a tweener, and he just scored on everybody. And he used that big butt to get bigger guys off of him, which allowed him to create his shot.
Yeah,
he was so much fun to watch. Dantley was, because nobody could do what he did.
As you say that, I think of a lot of centers that were like that, power forwards that are like that, or you think of Charles. But some of the other guys I think of are mostly centers that were. I'm trying to think. I mean, even Moses Malone down low.
Big butt. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chocolate Thunder.
Daryl Dawkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a big dude. He had that base.
He did.
But they learned, Kiefer, they learned how to use their body.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's one of the things that you notice with the Knicks and even with San Antonio, they were good at blocking out aside from OG crashing the rim on that one shot. But they were so adept. But you do see Wemby at 7'4". What's he, a whispering 195 pounds?
He's more than that.
Yeah, he is bigger than that. But he got moved around pretty good.
He did, yeah.
I mean,
I thought Hartenstein played him great. I really did. The center for the Thunder. I thought Hartenstein played his heart out against him because on the other side, Chet Holmgren overmatched.
He was
overmatched against Wemby. And so they had to really go hard with Isaiah Hartenstein, and he played him extremely tough and had success. In fact, Hartenstein was a double-double throughout that entire series.
The other thing, too, is you think of explosiveness. Charles was explosive.
Oh, absolutely.
Barkley could get up. He was explosive, and that's the one thing they talked about with Cole. He is explosive. Aside from the physicality, the energy, he's got hops. He can get up and down the court. And he can get from 0 to 60 in about 2.5.
I just thought of another guy who, if Koa wanted to look at somebody who could kind of pattern his game after, Karl Malone.
Yes.
The mailman.
Karl, big dude.
Man, oh man, was he really good.
But he's pushing, 250-ish, 255.
Yeah, 6'8", 250.
But he moved very, very well.
And he had that big behind.
Yes, he did.
And he moved people around, and you just could not stop him.
You back him down. I mean, you think of the guys. I mean, I think of even Luka. I mean, the way he backs guys down.
He backs them down all the time.
I mean, he's big.
Yep.
He's pushing probably 280, 7 foot.
Look at
He's probably
just not 7 foot, 280. He's 6'6".
Not Luka. I'm talking about. I'm sorry, the Joker. I'm thinking of the Joker down low.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Joker down low.
Okay.
Yeah, Luka wishes he had that little girth down low.
Well, he did,
but the
he lost
Joker
it.
could just back you down.
He does.
And there was no answer. He gets 3 or 4 feet from the rim. So again, there's a lot. I think there's a lot of mentors that'll help Koa Pete as far as moving around the basket. But the guy, he scores from the paint.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one thing you noticed at U of A. He can score from the paint, but he's going to be dealing with a whole different breed of cat with the size and the ability that he's going to be able to go down in the paint with.
When we come back, former San Antonio Spurs world champion and ASU basketball Hall of Famer Jeff Ayers is going to be our guest. Let's get you right now to an ESPN 620 Sports Center update.
It's now time for your Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B's ESPN 620 Sports Center update. I'm Matt Lazarus. The D-backs picked up a much-needed win last night, rallying in the ninth to beat the St. Louis Cardinals 4-3 and even up the series at a game apiece. Game 3 of the 4-game set gets underway at 4:45 this afternoon, with recent call-up Mitch Bratt expected to get the start for the Snakes as they look to build on last night's win. And on the hardwood, the Phoenix Suns traded up into the first round of the NBA draft last night, selecting hometown product and Arizona Wildcat Koa Pete with the 30th overall pick. The Arizona native now gets his chance to stay home as his NBA career begins in a Phoenix Suns uniform. Nobody does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Nobody. Tequila cocktails, premium bourbon, top shelf spirits over ice balls, local craft beers, and those famous 29-degree drafts. Pair it all with scratch-made bites that actually satisfy.
The biggest soccer tournament on the planet is going on, and there's no better place to catch every match than Twin Peaks. Watch all the action on wall-to-wall TVs with ice-cold 29-degree draft beer, made from scratch food, and game day specials all tournament long. Twin Peaks is going unmatched for every match through July 19th. Cheer on Team USA or your favorite country at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views. $5 locations.
Lace Up Tempe, the Frank Cush Youth Foundation's 33rd annual Runnin' for the Brats is back, Saturday, October 10th at Tempe Beach Park, part of the Tempe Sister Cities Four Peaks Oktoberfest. Every step supports Lady Hawk softball, girls flag football, the Frank Cush Scholarship at ASU, and kids across our community. Sign up or volunteer at Oktoberfest.run. That's Oktoberfest.run. Give back, run, cheer. October 10th, Tempe Beach Park.
Our legacy began in 1963. Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf has been your trusted golf shop for generations. From the early days to the present, we've been serving local golfers with excellent service and expertise. Our goal is to empower your journey with the best gear and advice in golf, all backed by our legendary 90-day guarantee. Van's Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf is here to help you get there.
This Father's Day, put the focus on Dad's happy place, his garage. Shop more ways to organize, more ways to build, and more ways to spend time together. With low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Get him a rolling toolbox or a wall-mounted organizer to keep it all in place. Or save on power tools like the Ryobi 2-tool driver drill combo kit for just $99. Make Father's Day about building something together with a little help from the Home Depot. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Arizona's future depends on a skilled workforce, and that's why students don't just learn at Pima JTED, they do. From healthcare to technology and construction to design, the JTED classroom model gets high school students ready for college, a career, or both, teaching them the skills Arizona employers need right now. Discover how Pima JTED students can support your business. Learn more at PimaJTED.org. That's PimaJTED.org. This message is sponsored by Potoff Private Philanthropy.
Now back to Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Now on ESPN 620.
One of his picks against it.
Shot. Oh, that's a killer. That's a killer. Thank you to ESPN for the highlight. Koa Pete doing his thing for the U of A. He will now toil for the Phoenix Suns. We're going to have a great conversation. Jeff Pendergraft, now Jeff Ayers, is our guest. He was a champion with the San Antonio Spurs, and he has gone into the ASU Basketball Hall of Fame. You can find him on X as well at Jeff Ayers AZ. That's at Jeff Ayers AZ. Jeff, welcome to the show, man. How's everything?
Man, life is good. Thank you for having me on.
Hey, Jeff, now I just got to ask you, you just got married yesterday. Huge congratulations.
And he's doing our show.
You're calling right now. Did you get a hall pass to the married life in order to call us?
Nah, I'm a veteran in life a little bit now. I set up a prenatal massage for my wife. You guys.
You're the man. You're the man. Yeah, Mike Morocco, who's my partner, Roc, he's got Roc's Man Vice. That's going to make Roc's Man Vice. But, Jeff, really appreciate you coming on. By the way, huge congrats on going into the ASU Basketball Hall of Fame.
I appreciate it, man. I'm just grateful for, the recognition from the university to, even want to include me in this the Hall of Legends, man. It's awesome and an honor.
And on top of that, you went and had a great pro career. By the way, I did see the tape with you going and talking. I forget, Channel 10 did an interview with you. You had that big San Antonio Spurs championship ring on. How big is that bad boy from 2014?
I mean, it's on the borderline of, really comfortable to fit my size. Like, obviously, I'm a big person, but it's like right on the borderline of obnoxious too. Like, I barely wear it. It's pretty darn heavy. So, but I'm trying to get used to it. I'm retired now, so feels like it's a little more appropriate to wear it now than it was before.
Hey, wear it, man.
Yeah,
Be prideful, gaudy or not.
Yeah.
Just make sure that you guard that bad boy when you're out there wearing it.
Oh yeah, now I think just me walking around, 6'10" is enough to kind of spook away most people. It's like, if they think they can grab it off my finger, I could probably reach them before they take like a step or two. There
you go.
I think I together.
All right. Hey, take us to what the Suns did in moving up to make a trade for Koa, Pete. You played in the association. Manuch and I had a conversation here about it. Every player who makes the team was a star player in college. So you played against some of the greatest basketball players ever on the planet. Can you explain what it is like making that jump from college to the NBA and what the difference is from being a college player to a NBA player?
Oh man, honestly, I feel like the biggest difference in the jump is just how the pace is played. So going from like the draft and then to summer league, it's like going from like high school to JUCO. It's going to be the same. You're playing against the same players. It's just a little higher level. The real difference is going to come when you go from summer league to like training camp to like regular season. Then you're playing against like vets who've been in the NBA for a while, know the game, know the other players. So you got to learn a whole bunch of nuances and things coming in that, take rookies a little bit of time because, at least playing time, they get used to all these different things in the players. So it's a nice jump, but geez, U of A, they're one of the top teams in the country for the whole season. So they've kind of played like a pro team. So I can only imagine that it won't be that big of a jump for Koa and an adjustment. Just that, U of A played at such a high level and he played at such a high level. But there's always going to be some growing pains as a rookie, coming into the league.
And Jeff, we were talking about that. It does matter as a collegiate who you play against. You were in the Pac-10 there. You played a lot of great teams in the Pac. As you mentioned, he's played a lot of teams in the Big 12. Did that give you a little bit more of a boost versus some of the other rookies that came in that didn't play in, let's say they played in FCS schools or maybe even NAIA schools?
It kind of just depends on the team situation and how they play. Like, I got picked up, and I probably wasn't going to play a whole lot, but because we were dealing with a lot of injuries with the Blazers, with Greg Oden getting hurt, I think Chris Dilla ended up getting injured too. We had Charles Outlaw was hurt, Marcel Wester was hurt, so the young guys had to play. So, we had to learn and figure out things really quickly, but it all depends on teams and their makeup. Some teams now that the draft guys and let them develop in the G League just because there's not that much room on the main team. And then some guys get lucky that, they get to learn and make mistakes as a rookie until they figure it out. Don't have to worry about benched or getting sent down. So it just kind of depends on the team.
Hey, our State 48 Rookie, get your call question of the day. I want to get your thoughts on this. And this is what we asked our folks out there. Where will Koa Pete have an immediate impact for the Suns his first year? And here's your four options, Jeff. Rebounding, instant offense, defense, or physicality. Let me say it again. Rebounding, instant offense, defense, or physicality. Where could he have an immediate impact as a rookie?
Yeah, I think physicality would probably be the first one. I think one that's on there is just like, that's not on that list is just like high IQ play. He's a heck of a basketball player, been coached and taught by the right ones, learned the right way. And there's going to be things that I think untrained fans might not notice, things that don't show up on the stat sheet. Like when you come from a winning program, like how to win, like that's something that's an intangible that doesn't show up on the stat sheet.
I want to follow up. We had a conversation about guys with big butts and how well they were able to use it in their NBA career.
I call it the base.
Yeah, the base.
The base.
Karl Malone's name came up. Charles
Barkley.
Yeah,
Chocolate Thunder.
Yeah, and then we went to the Joker as well because he's able to back guys down. Yeah. So is Koa capable of doing that? Have you seen enough of his game where even against NBA players who are as big and as talented as him, could he still have success?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, another player you guys didn't mention that I had a really good base and was elite at it, former son too, Boris Diaw.
Oh, yes.
He was elite at it. One of the reasons why we won a championship at San Antonio was he was just able to, post LeBron up, and nobody thought about ever posting up LeBron. But here comes Boris, backing him down, and it just going to be depends on how he can apply his footwork to get his advantage. Everybody's going to be just as big, if not bigger and stronger than him. So it's not more of a physicality muscle thing. It's learning your footwork, getting the angles right, and knowing how to use your body to get to the spots on the floor that you could be successful. So it'll just be him adjusting how to get to that, reading that 3-second defense cleanse and, rotations. So I think he's definitely going to be able to do it. It's just going to be a matter of, learning how to fit it within the offense of the game.
What's interesting is you're saying that we think of Amari Stoudemire. It wasn't really a true 5. It was kind of a 4 or 5 hybrid. But as you're sitting there talking, Jeff, I'm thinking how he developed his game. He wasn't at the big base. He was tall and lean, but the development of his shot, going to the rack and moving ambidextrously right or left. I mean, he went through that growth spurt as well, too, but he wasn't a big dude at that 4 or 5 spot.
No, and Amari came in as a high school player as well. So, there's a lot of learning and adjusting and growth with his body. Coro is already looking like he's getting in the NBA like 2 or 3 years. So it's just going to be learning his skill set, tuning it enough to still be effective in the NBA, but also, learning secondary third moves that get him back to what he's good at. Because these guys are going to take your first move away, make you try your second move, try to take that away too. So, to be successful, you really just got to figure out how to still get to your moves while everybody else is trying to take away everything you're trying to do.
Jeff, as a former player and also a champion, do you like the current status of the NBA, or would you still yearn for maybe 10 or 12 years ago?
Honestly, I love it right now because, after retirement, this is my first year retiring, but towards the end of my career, I really worked on my jump shot, and I can really shoot the ball. And now, I see guys, all the big men shoot threes, and all the guards are the dunkers now. And so it's like, man, I missed the league by 10 years. If I was 29 right now, I'd probably be making $15 million a year.
Yep.
But so is life, man. All the best guys think about that stuff once you're out the league and you see how it changes. And of course, you miss it the way you wanted to play, like when you played. But if the finals are any test, the conference finals and the finals, basketball, NBA is heading in a great direction. I know it's a long season. Fans get kind of numb to it. The players, just want to slog through the season to get to the playoffs. But this was an excellent playoff basketball this year. And these young stars, man, are shining and growing and building their legacies live right now. We're not going to wait 20 years and I'm like, oh, man, you remember that conference finals? The Thunder and the Spurs? That was incredible. We're talking about it now. So we're witnessing a really good era of basketball, I think.
Okay.
Would you have ever seen, you're talking about guys coming out of college. The rarity for Brunson, Bridges, and Hart to win 2 titles at Villanova and then win one with the Knicks. But to see Bridges, I think we always expected that was going to be that star. Hart, same thing. But Jalen Brunson coming out, I knew he'd be a good point guard. But when you've watched him grow and watched him in these finals, Jeff, what's been the biggest thing since he went from Dallas to the Knicks in his growth as just the superstar and MVP he was?
I think he hasn't forgot about being an underdog. Shout out to the second round guys that have gone out and really made impact on the teams. You don't have to just be a lottery pick to be a game changer. And Brunson just had that chip on his shoulder. He's known his worth. He's known his value. He knows he's a winner. And, it's just a tough situation having Luka and Brunson at the same time in Dallas. And, he took a bet on himself. And then the Knicks matched it. They negotiated with him, wanted to ask him to take a little bit less so, they could keep building the team. And here's the result. This is what people want to see with basketball. Superstars kind of taking a backseat a little bit money-wise. So our teams and organizations can make room for other players and other pieces they'll build. And it's just been awesome that they've flipped it like that this quick.
Jeff, and then there's San Antonio. You won a title in 2014. Obviously, they've got Wemby and Fox and Castle, et cetera, et cetera. And then there's Greg Popovich, your old coach, still around the gym. What is it about the San Antonio Spurs organization, and is Pop still that influential? What is it that carries these teams, the legacies, the traditions of the San Antonio Spurs?
I mean, I think that's it right there. It's legacy and tradition. What's in San Antonio is so much bigger than Wemby and the players, and it's because of what Pop built with David and Timmy and Manu and Tony. It's gotten bigger than just, all right, Coach Popovich has got these guys running right. It's the Spurs thing. Like, everybody was like, it's Spurs. It's like a cultural identity that, Pop created a machine now where it's awesome and amazing that he's still there. It's like having like a cheat code. You could be Wembanyama and walking around with like Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Greg Popovich. It's like you get all the answers to the test, and then you just gotta experience it so you can apply it yourself. They're not having to be trailblazers and figure it out on their own. So just the impact that Coach Pop has, the culture that they've created, and it's just able to maintain it. Mitch Johnson's not trying to reinvent the wheel. So, Coach Pop is one of the winningest coaches. Like, finals appearances, why change what he's done? Just get the right pieces and let them fall into place and nurture it and let it grow.
So what are you going to be doing during the NBA season? Can we call you and say, hey, come on the show?
Oh, most definitely. My line is always open for you guys. Heck yeah.
Man.
Oh, we appreciate that.
We are dialing you up.
Your good buddy Fat Lieber said you need to call or else. So, you're our good buddy.
Sun Devils, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So what's the game plan for Jeff Ayers now that you're retired? I know you want to do a little broadcasting. Is that one thing that's on the hit list?
Yes, sir. So the last season I did about 4 games for ASU. It was awesome. We definitely have fun with that. And then it just transitioned into doing about 12 games for the Valley Suns.
Okay.
And honestly, I had so much fun. It's such a fun thing to do, is just talk basketball and just tie my own experiences into what's going on. And obviously playing at ASU, having fond memories of what it was like when I played, playing against all these crazy teams in the Pac-10, Final Four, UCLA, Stanford had the Twins, like USC had 5 NBA guys. Like, it was nuts. And so it was just so much fun. And then playing in the G League and knowing what these guys are going through, it's so cool to be able to relate to everybody that's playing. And honestly, just the experiences I've had, and it's fun to talk to the fans about it as well. So I love broadcasting. It's so much fun.
Jeff, well, thank you so much for taking, and congratulations on your marriage. We may have to get you on for Roc's Man Vice as far as some of the advice you can give some of the guys. I mean, that's an all-star move right there, big fella. That's a veteran move.
I'm telling you, it's not my first rodeo, you know what I mean? So, figured out some stuff the first time. So, just moving with kindness, man. I got an amazing woman.
I got you. By the way, I want you to know that your broadcasting career, you have now hit the pinnacle since you're on this world-class radio show.
Hey, I'm adding it to the resume, guys. So I'm going to let you guys as references, too. So, let me throw the little ESPN on my resume now. So, I mean, nothing but up from here. I'm already at the top, you guys. So I appreciate you.
You bet. Thank you, Jeff. Really appreciate it, buddy. We'll be talking to you soon. Trust me.
Yeah, I'll be here, fellas. Appreciate the time, man. Thanks for having me on.
There you go. Manuch, that was great. The guy gets married, and then he just
got married yesterday,
and he comes on our show.
I said, I texted him, I went, oh, congrats. He goes, yeah, I'm good for 3:30 tomorrow. I went, really? He goes, yeah, we're not coming back till tomorrow. And what a veteran move. Laz, did you pay attention to that?
Veteran move. I've
been taking notes the whole time.
I mean, he's got to do this 15-minute interview, and he got her massage.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, are you going to be okay doing the interview? He goes, I got it covered.
Yeah.
That's a veteran move right there. Heck, even
that's a baller right there.
Yeah,
that's a baller.
There, man.
That was
go,
great.
Jeff Ayers. Wow.
That was great. He was presented today by Lerner and Rowe. All right, when we come back, it is our Lerner and Rowe. One call, that's all. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620.
Let me remind you, Thursdays are where the weekend starts at Twin Peaks Restaurant. Grab an ice-cold Bud Light or a refreshing Michelob Ultra and catch wall-to-wall sports on massive TVs everywhere you look. Big games, cold beer, made from scratch food. Start your weekend early with Bud Light and Michelob Ultra. Thursdays at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and scenic views.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I was in a wreck. I need a check.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe. The insurance company's job is to pay you as little as possible. Our job is to get you every dollar you deserve. Call Lerner and Rowe today and let's make them pay. Call 977-1900.
Call 977-1900.
You push hard, you train hard. Shouldn't your soda work just as hard? Meet Kunu, the superfood nutrition soda packed with whole vitamins, electrolytes, and antioxidants. Only 5 grams of natural sugar. Over 2,000 5-star reviews. Voted the #1 soda for athletes. Whole food nutrition, great taste. That's Kunu. Go to HUNUsoda.com and use code ESPN for 10% off your first order. Kunu Soda, soda that's actually good for you. HUNUsoda.com. Code ESPN.
Rock for WhiteToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection, all at WrightToyota.com.
The hour is happening at Twin Peaks, Monday through Friday, 2 till 6 p.m. With reverse happy hour, Sunday through Thursday, 10 till close. Plus, grab 22-ounce Michelob Ultra drafts every Thursday and Saturday, 22-ounce Bud Light drafts every Sunday, and new on Thursdays, $5 Busch Light 16-ounce aluminums. 5 Valley Twin Peak locations, cold beer, scratch-made food, and wall-to-wall sports. Twin Peaks, tell them Roc and Manuch sent ya.
Step right up, America. Got equipment to sell or looking for something ready to work? At Purple Wave Auction, it's as easy as it gets. Easy to sell, easy to buy. Construction, ag, fleet, and government equipment. All no reserve, all online. Register for free.
Get swinging over to PurpleWave.com. PurpleWave.com.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
Well, he's a nice piece. I mean, don't, he's the 30th pick, so let's not put too much pressure on the kid from the get-go. And I don't like him at 250. I like his athleticism. I like the way he moves right now. Sometimes, weight is overrated for, mobility, agility, speed, and being able to move around the court, especially the way, the game is played today. But I like him. He's a tough kid, obviously local. He's won wherever he's been. He can guard multiple positions. He's really good in the mid-range game. He handles the ball well for his size. So for the Suns to get up to the 30th pick and get him to New York and Dallas and whatever other team they went through to get him, congratulations. I do think he's a nice piece.
I like big butts and I cannot lie. I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Cole, we're not trying to give you any kind of a complex.
No, not really.
Whatsoever. We're just, you got some girth, you got some size.
Yep.
That's what we've been wanting for the Phoenix Suns for many years to happen.
You think he's listening to the show?
Oh,
If he heard you,
Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B, absolutely.
He's got to have the
He's already pitching to the NBA for this to be his
Absolutely.
introduction song,
he-
obviously.
his walk-up song.
His walk-up song. Oh, that'd be great. Well, I train his young cousin.
I know you
And I
do.
know the Pete family very well. I am doing, hey, free lessons for life. If we can get Koa on the show, I mean, whatever.
Him and Chuck are going to do some Pilates together.
There you go. Yeah, we can do that totally. But good to hear that Tim Kempton talking about, hey, look, he's a rookie. Let's get this. Everybody pump the brakes, which we are.
We are.
But this kid's mature beyond his years mentally and physically. It's going to take him some time to figure it out. And I think those are some of the things that he can figure out and create some kind of an impact, whether it's physicality, defense, rebounding. May take him a while to find that offensive prowess. As we heard Jeff Ayers just talk about, he says, hey, look, all the big men are now shooting from the outside.
Yeah.
And it's the little guys that are going to the rack.
And dunking.
I mean, look at Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how many times he went to the rack
All the time.
effectively. So, hey, you know what? I'm just happy that Koa's here. I'm sure with the coaching staff they have there, they'll get the most out of him this first year. But it'll be a big learning curve this first year.
That is good enough for our learner and row. One call, that's all. If you've been injured in an accident, don't try to handle it by yourself. Learner and Row, voted Arizona's best personal injury law firm year after year. Interact, need a check? Just make one call, 602-977-1900. That's 602-977-1900. Always online at learnerandrow.com. So what's on tap tonight? Well, it is baseball. You have the Diamondbacks game 3 in St. Louis against the Cardinals. They are even in this series at 1 game each, a 4-3 win by the Diamondbacks last night. All of the runs were scored in the 9th inning. So it was a stellar job by the pitching staff until they got to the 9th inning.
What a great pitcher's duel it was.
It was.
By the starters and by the bullpen. And to see it blow up like that. And then Paul Sewald, took Garcia to come in and put the flames out, but he did.
Yeah, he did.
As we had a little bit of the starting of a brush fire. And so the fireman that is Garcia came in, did a good job. Mitch Brott, the rookie on the bump tonight. Yeah, Mitch Brott, the young man from we've been talking about from Canada, Newmarket, Ontario.
I like it.
I believe.
Yeah, I think it's outside Toronto.
I believe it's outside Toronto by Oakville. Great golf courses out there.
Uh-huh.
But the young man's going to be taking the bump tonight against Liberatori, the fine young man from, was it Mountain Ridge, Laz? Is that where he was at?
Mountain Ridge High School. Dominated my Desert Mountain Wolves more than one time.
How many times did you strike out against them?
Oh, I didn't strike out. I just watched every one of my best friends strike out. And then Nolan Gorman, his buddy who's on the Cardinals, came up and hit the ball 500 feet to our freshman field right after that.
So Liberatori's about 6'5", about 200 pounds soaking wet, if that. So he's taking a bump for the Cardinals, so it should be a good game. Hey, tomorrow, mañana, they say in Spanish, we'll be at the Twin Peaks in Deer Valley.
I like it.
Rick Coro will be out there, the sports professor. Rick Kamla will join us talking about the NBA draft. It'll be over by that time. And get his thoughts. And Howard Balzer talking about all things National Football League besides that. Maybe he'll mix some soccer things in there as well.
I like that too.
So
Hey,
tomorrow we will be out at Twin Peaks. You're going on a vacation?
I'm gone.
For the next 2 years?
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay.
That way I don't have to hang out.
I think we got an Uber waiting for him, Laz, downstairs right now. Just get him the heck out of here.
Diamondbacks 445 on our sister station and also on Diamondbacks TV, 34 on Cox Cable, 686 on DirecTV. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, ESPN 620, 98.7 FM HD2, and on the Arizona Sports app.
I like big butts and I can't lie. You other brothers deny. When a girl walks with an itty bitty wet been around thing in your face, you get sprung.
Summer's here. Grills are hot. flags are flying, and D-backs baseball is in full swing. It's the perfect time to step up to the plate in a new Sanderson Ford with employee pricing. Now you pay what they pay on America's best-selling trucks and SUVs. Choose from a Ford F-150 STX, Bronco Big Bend, or Explorer, all starting at under $42,000. If you're looking to save this summer, choose American value for American values. Choose Sanderson Ford, proud partners of your Arizona Diamondbacks. Employee pricing good through 7/6/26. Not all vehicles qualify. See dealer for details.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya guselkumab may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent